Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
This is the Parker & Sons Weather Center. For all your AC, plumbing, and electric needs, call Parker.
For your Monday starting to warm up, we'll see those temperatures right around 102 degrees with clear skies. And then for tonight, dipping down into those mid-70s and mostly clear. For the Fox 10 weather experts, I'm Ty Brennan.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Lowe's knows fall is the perfect time for outdoor projects. Right now, you can keep your yard looking its best and save. Take care of leaves.
All right,
with leaf
coming up in
blowers
5
starting at
seconds
just
with the original
$89.98. Lowe's knows home improvement. While supplies last, see store for details.
Certainly.
Calling all sports with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Proudly sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing and is powered by the injury attorneys Lerner and Rowe. In Iraq and need a check? One call, that's all. 602-977-1900. And always online at lernerandrowe.com.
You guys are hot.
Time for Calling All Sports with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. On Fox Sports 910.
Hey, everybody, we say good afternoon to you. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Fox Sports 910, 99.9 FM HD2. Also free on the iHeartRadio app. Jimmy B. Manuch, Jax is here as we're hanging out at Casino, Arizona. And our guy Connor back in the iHeartRadio studios, making sure we don't do anything stupid. He has a big task at hand. Oh, by the way, breaking news. The Miami Dolphins have just scored again. I am telling you right now, it was like watching a video game. And tonight we have doubleheader NFL football. We'll get into all of that. It is the Monday night tailgate. Manuch, I know you're dying to brag and carry on like a raving quarterback that you are. So let's do this first, and then you can just take off. Connor, let's go.
Time for the top local and national stories of the hour. Powered by the Sportsbook at CAC Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona. Bet big on your favorite teams and players in an environment that's as exciting as the game you're watching. There's no better place in the Valley to get in on the action. The Sportsbook at CAC Sports Bar. Now, guys, what's your top story this hour?
So, after the big win by the Cardinals over the Cowboys, my esteemed colleague, the former NFL QB, he's the funky QB, sends me about 960 text messages saying,
don't exaggerate.
I told you guys.
It was 9:55. Don't exaggerate.
So, Manuch, the floor is yours.
Well, you know, I tried to tell you and Rock on Thursday.
Did.
Jax, was gone up there in Montana. We'll get to that in just a little bit as his Grizz fall to the NAU Lumberjacks. I tried to tell you two knuckleheads how the Cardinals could beat the Cowboys. Your guys go, no way. They've outscored their opponents 70-10. I said, well, if the Cardinals can do this, and this, and their defense can hold serve, and you've got a banged up offensive line, and they can come here and run on the perimeter and get the running game going and throw the ball down the field and maybe run some draws and get the ball to Rondale Moore, commit themselves to getting the ball down the field to Hollywood Brown, utilize the tight end, so on and so forth.
I still laughed at you.
You did. You and Rock were like, there is no way.
Yep.
They're plus 12.5. And I'm like, guys, I said, that's a lot of points for National Football League game. Did I not, Jimmy?
You did.
And I said, here's the chance. Here's the way they can beat them or have a chance.
Yeah.
I said, they may not beat them, but here's some things. If they do this, this, and this, anybody on any given Sunday, especially in the National Football League, can win a football game. Texans over Jacksonville, seriously, in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I kind of laid it out, and, you know, Drew Petzing, the offensive coordinator.
He was listening.
He must have been listening. Rock and Manuch Jimmy B on Thursday as we were at Twin Peaks last Thursday in Scottsdale, and we kind of broke it all down. This weekend was the what weekend. I mean, you just talked about 70 points.
I know.
By an NFL team on another NFL team.
Yeah.
Sean Payton, you wanna get away? You want to do a do-over on that contract? I mean, we talked about NAU beating the 11th ranked Montana, getting their first victory. We saw the Arizona Cardinals, did hell freeze over, beat the Dallas Cowboys. And then we saw, of all things, Notre Dame's a pretty prominent school. Would you not agree?
I would say yes.
You
Most
probably
people have heard of it.
You probably would get the best coaches of the best coaches at Notre Dame.
You
you
would
not?
think so.
So as part of my what category of the weekend, how do you not have Jimmy B
Yeah.
and Jackson Groff, 11 guys on the football field when they get the ball down on about the 1 yard line? Where's your 3 technique down defensive linemen? Not only once,
Yeah.
but twice.
That's correct.
Okay. And they did like a rollout pass. It was incomplete it was a second down. So third down, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. And before that, okay, it's third down and 19.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, 4th and 19. You got to convert. How do you allow a 20-yard pass completion on the 1? You rush 3, you drop 8. How does that ball get in there by a quarterback who's been shaky? By the way, he got hot in the fourth quarter.
He did. He got going. Yeah.
Game
It
set.
was 3rd and 19.
Third and 19, yeah.
Okay.
Before he catches the ball, clock stops. They get up, they down it. Third down, okay, a second down. Now it's 3rd and 1. Rollout pass. Where's the 11th guy?
Yeah.
All right, I can see that. You screwed up. You'll have him in there on 4th down, will
Well,
you
you
not?
put him in, will you?
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah.
Nowhere to be found. And on top of that, Coach Freeman, excuse me, I'm on a roll.
I
guys.
know you are.
I saw the what this weekend like no other in college and the National Football League. And then when you recognize you had a oh, by the way, excuse me, they called a timeout. Before that, they still don't have 11 guys on the field.
You're right.
And they said, well, Coach Freeman, why didn't you just run somebody out there, take the penalty? Well, you know what? We didn't want to give them the distance. Excuse me. You're on the 1, half the distance to the goal. So they get the ball on the half-foot yard line. What's the difference?
Yeah.
Coach Freeman, I'm going to tell you what, man. I think that Father O'Leary, Coach Freeman, could you come to the Notre Dame administrator offices, please? At Notre Dame, we take pride, and if we get beat, we get beat. But Father O'Leary, in the last 55, 60 years he's been there at Notre Dame, has never seen back-to-back where the 11th guy's been on the field, 3 technique down linemen, and giving Ohio State the opportunity to win that game. So that's kind of how I encapsulated watching college and National Football League football, at least for me, Jack.
Well, yeah, well, it's sunk too because that's obviously everyone's talking about the 10 players on the field, but I thought defensively Notre Dame played well. I mean, 2 times on 4th down inside the red zone they stopped him at and made Kyle McCord uncomfortable there early. But the biggest thing too from both sides, the offensive defensive line from Ohio State was looking really impressive. 0 sacks they allowed on McCord. He had all day to throw there. But then again, the Marvin Harrison Jr. injury, that kind of shook up the game too. But for Notre Dame, I think they still got a lot ahead of them. They got Duke. They've obviously got Clemson later on. They've got USC too. But, man, big win for Ohio State, a team that a lot of people question.
And you know what? And, okay, but they might have still scored if you had the 11th guy in there.
They might have, sure.
Matter of fact, it's funny. I'm watching the 2 plays, and I went, well, that's interesting. They're just rushing 3 or – they got 3 guys up.
And you got to give credit to Ohio State for recognizing that, too.
They did finally. I mean, he had the play was called because they came up and did a quick count. They did the rollout. Then they realized the offensive coordinator going, they only got 10 guys.
That's it.
There's no 3 technique down defensive linemen. All right, let's just run off the left side. An easy score.
Mhm.
But that's the kind of stuff, guys, that you're a top-ranked, astute team. We're the guys in the box. Where's the count guy? Hey, you only got 10 guys.
Yeah.
You're out of timeouts.
You always have a count coach.
Well, but all right, send your guy out there. Take a penalty.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
It's at the distance. So you're at the half-yard line versus the 1 yard line. And I mean, just overall, and then what the Cardinals did yesterday was like, wow, okay, they came out quick, they came out fast, they got after it. And then you just looked at, and then USC and ASU, what'd that get to? 35 points was the spread? Was it 34?
Yes, it was. Yeah.
What they did, one of the best coaching jobs by Kenny Dillingham and his staff that I've seen, in order to have ASU in the thick of it going into the fourth quarter, down 27-21, you score, and then you're pretty much right there. And then you get the onside kick that goes against you. And then Pine underthrowing that, I don't know if it's a go route or a deep go route or a fade, can't underthrow that football. Got to miss him deep. If your guy doesn't get it, nobody gets it, you look for another down, right?
Right.
That pick was pretty much game, set, match because USC goes right down the field. Caleb Williams, he's everything and anything for all of you who have not seen him play that they say. By the way, I think that, I think all 95 members of the front office of the Arizona Cardinals had a suite over there.
They were all there watching him, yeah. I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Kenny Dillingham came out and said last week, I'm going to start taking over the offense. What was the difference? Because the Fresno State game, their offense was all out of whack. They had no freaking clue what to do. So you see what they do against USC. Is that all Kenny Dillingham?
Well, I think that the creativity, the different motions, the formations, Scatterbo at Wildcat.
Boy, that kid can play.
Scatterbo at quarterback, Scatterbo right, Scatterbo left. I mean, the kid's just amazing, folks. I mean, what's he, 5'11"-ish, about 225. He's thick, he's strong, he can run. And kid from Sacramento State that transferred into ASU. I think the way he ran the offense and utilized and saw a lot of the glaring weaknesses in USC. Now, you got to remember, he called plays against USC for a couple of years at Oregon. When he was at Florida State, they never played USC. But he's got that experience. He knows what they're doing. I thought he kept them off balance. And then to just keep them hanging around in the game, and I felt that they had a shot, if not for a couple gaffes, at the end of the game. So I think what I saw was continuity, creativity with a purpose.
Okay.
You can have guys in motion and running here and running there. When you see a Scatterbo go off tackle for 4 yards or for 5 yards, whatever, and see success, and I thought that Pine did an outstanding job of a couple of scrambles and kind of settling himself. So he was a very good, I'll call him senior force per se, or senior maturity to keep all those young guys with second, third team linemen at bay and kind of be the calm amongst the storm. Outstanding job of coaching by the staff.
Diamondbacks just concluded their game against the New York Yankees, and it is not a good outcome, Manuch, as they had this game, and then all of a sudden Yankee bats came alive, and the Yankees come back and win the game 6-4.
Yeah, and that's one of those things where from here on out, this was the makeup game. They didn't play on Saturday because of the rain, torrential downpours there in that entire Northeast coast. But yeah, they lose. They hop on a plane and get ready to go take on the White Sox for a 3-game series. Have the day off on Friday, and then on Thursday, and then they'll pretty much wrap it up against the Houston Astros. But last time I looked, before this game, as far as the standings, they were a half game up.
Half game up, yep.
Yeah, half game up. But look out, because the Marlins are playing good baseball. They won, I think, 4 in a row. The Cubbies had won 3 in a row. So currently, if I look at it, they're still plus a half game. Cubbies, who had won 3 in a row, and the Marlins had won 2 in a row. So you're going to south side of Chicago.
Right.
Got to win all 3, and you got to come back, I feel, and win at least 2 out of 3. Right now, as far as I'm concerned, the Reds are out of it. Padres are out of it. Giants are out of it. It's just going to be between the Cubbies and Marlins and Diamondbacks.
Okay.
For the 2 and 3 spot. I think number 2, I would hope the D-backs are fine.
I hope they are,
that
too.
third spot could be the Cubs and Marlins. But you know what? You can't chance or scoreboard watch. You just got to go out and win them.
That's correct. Hey, top headlines are always powered by the CAZ Sportsbook right here at Casino Arizona, where we always broadcast on Monday. And by the way, when you want to watch the 2 NFL games tonight, well, the Sportsbook is open. Betting windows with real live people there is 8 o'clock in the morning until 11 o'clock at night. They also have 6 self-service kiosks as well, so you can have a great time at the Sportsbook and the CAZ Sports Bar. And don't forget, when you come here, well, the new home of the Roc and Manuch Lager is available to you. It's brewed by Huss Brewing in Tempe. And referencing the games tonight, 23rd year of hosting Monday Night Football right here at Casino Arizona. It's free. Just show up and win cash. You heard me. We're going to have squares, propositions. It's all going to be available. Not 1, but 2 games tonight, and it's all free to enter right here at Casino Arizona. Another great weekend of football. We'll take you back to our Valley Chevy dealer weekends as well. And it is next. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910.
Time for a new big screen TV?
Clear.
Twin Peaks, Blue Moon, and Coors Light are giving away 5 65-inch smart TVs. Text PEAKS to 59925. Standard message and data rates apply. That's PEAKS to 59925.
Looking for the perfect destination to perfect your putting? Welcome to Putting World. the ultimate 18-hole indoor putting course designed to delight golf enthusiasts of all levels. Immerse yourself in the art of putting as you navigate our greens. Whether you're a seasoned golfer or a curious beginner, Putting World promises an unforgettable experience for everyone. Swing by today to elevate your golf game to new heights. Visit us at the Scottsdale Promenade or learn more at puttingworld.com.
Hey, it's Gross. Join me, Bauer, and Jackson every Saturday at Casino Arizona for Take the Points, powered by the Sportsbook at CAZ Sportsbook.
Hey, sports fans, celebrate every big game with El Bandito Yankee, an ultra-premium tequila made from 100% Blue Weber agave in the highlands of Jalisco. Their certified additive-free Blanco and Reposado features a unique oxygenation process for a rich smoothness without that tequila burn. It's why they won platinum and gold medals and are now listed as one of the world's top tequilas by Rolling Stone. Head over to your local store, favorite bar, or restaurant in all 7 Barrio Queen locations. Go to elbanditoyankee.com and break out the Bandito with the official tequila of game day.
Hi, this is Kelly Cooper. Now picture this. You and your friends or family are gathered around a table, laughing, toasting, and sharing stories. At the Melting Pot, we're not just a restaurant, we're an experience. Are you ready to glow up your next birthday celebration? Look no further than the Melting Pot, where unforgettable moments are created and delicious memories are made. The Melting Pot is your perfect night out, where birthdays become memories that last a lifetime. For reservations, check us out online at meltingpot.com. That's meltingpot.com.
Heart failure, carpal tunnel syndrome, shortness of breath, stomach issues, lower back pain. How does it all add up? If you have heart failure and any of those seemingly unrelated symptoms sound familiar, it's time to talk with your cardiologist and get the full picture. They may add up to transthyretin amyloid cardiomyopathy. ATTR-CM is a rare and underdiagnosed disease. Recognize the signs and discuss them with your doctor soon. Learn more at connectwithyourheart.com. That's connectwithyourheart.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Did you know that over 90% of male enhancement
Yes, sir, I
pills are
did.
virtually the same thing that's repackaged, redone over and over again? Why
Yes, sir.
settle when you can get something that really works? Men, you need to try Noxitril, the powerful all-natural male enhancement pill that'll
Yeah,
perform
sure
at
thing.
a level you could only dream of. Imagine that little blue pill on steroids.
Coming up in 10
Call
with
now
the
and
CAZ
find out how
liner
to
with
get a free
the
bottle.
Valley
Call
Chevy plays of the week.
800-498-8850. 800-498-8850. That's 800-498-8850.
Back to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, broadcasting live from the CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. The Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona is a sports fan's paradise. You are locked in to Fox Sports 910, live from CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. Time for the Valley Chevy dealers' top plays of the week.
Dancing and looking and directing traffic, and look at the length of this play. Murray to the 10, to the 5, and he's going to convert it. That's unbelievable.
Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer. Set up a test.
You guys are
drive by
hot.
Heading to valleychevy.com. Now today's top plays on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on Fox Sports 910.
All right, everybody, welcome back in. We're hanging out here, Casino, Arizona. We're in the CAZ Sports Book and Sports Bar. This joint is going to be packed and jumping tonight because there are 2 NFL games, and you owe it to yourself to come on out and hang out with Manuch and Jax for the big Monday night tailgate party. It's going to be a great time. Time now for our Valley Chevy dealers sounds of the night. We begin with what took place yesterday. Thank you to Fox for this. There is a James Conner sighting for the Cardinals. Here it is.
Just outside of the 5. It is Connor, short side of the field. Blocker ahead, end zone ahead, and a touchdown. James Conner with a key block from Paris Johnson.
All right, I'm just going to tell you, Manuch, when that happened and they go up in this game, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, Manuch is going to go just absolutely nuts on
I
that.
was not going to count my chickens until they hatched.
Okay,
Jimmy.
fair enough.
2-point conversion was not successful. But long story short, I think the tone was kind of set with, you looked at the first play of the game or second play of the game, Josh Dobbs as a naked boot around the left side for 41 yards. You saw James Conner get off the schneid early and often. 182 yards rushing for the Cardinals in the first half.
Right.
In the first half. So I think this offensive line, James Conner and Keontae Ingram, were bound and determined. I really thought that Josh Dobbs, as far as manipulating and seeing this game overall, but from the rushing standpoint, they must have seen something pretty much on tape because Micah, Micah get kind of caught up coming down inside. They must have seen that when you flow to his side, he comes down. They don't really seal the edge. So that was a great call. Nice fake, little delay. Dobbs go around the left side, and Micah Parsons just watches that young man go around for to kind of set the tone for the rest of the game.
We've been screaming about a Rondell Moore sighting since the kid got to the team, and he's always hurt Manuch.
And what did I say Thursday? That they've got to get Rondell Moore involved. And otherwise, why is he here? And, he's a top draft choice 3 years ago, and that got to eventually get him off the schneid.
Well, thank you to Fox Sports for this Rondell Moore highlight.
He's got it again here out of the backfield and explodes up the middle. Rondell Moore, touchdown Arizona. They line the receiver up in the backfield and he gallops 45 yards for the Cardinal touchdown.
All right, now that's in the second quarter. Now they lead the game 15-3. I'm like going, what in the wide world of sport is going on here? I was like shocked, Manuch.
You were like, man, Manuch might have had really something going on.
Well, I didn't say that, but I was starting to drink heavily.
You were not there yet, right?
Yes, I wasn't there yet, but I'm getting there because Matt Prater. How old is Matt Prater? 89?
Well, no, don't exaggerate, Jimmy. He's 62 on a give or take. Yeah.
Speaking of 62, courtesy of Fox on this field goal.
Super long distance to finish off the first half. See if Prater's still got it in him. From 62, a line drive. Oh, he hit it! Line drive shot from 62 yards.
Manuch is 21-10, Cardinals.
Sure. And what are you thinking at that time? Are you thinking collapse? Or maybe, just maybe, this Cardinals team's got a little something going on. But I think for a lot of Cardinal fans, or just NFL fans, you're going, okay, they're going to go at halftime. They're going to have to lead.
Make adjustments.
Yeah.
Yep.
The
Dallas
Cowboys,
is going to come out.
Yeah, Dallas isn't really as bad as we thought they were, even though they're missing their three starting offensive linemen.
Right.
They'll make some adjustments. Micah Parsons will get going, but that line drive cleared it. It might have been 64. It cleared it by about 1.5 feet, but it was a line drive.
Hey, all it does is it counts.
And the holder is supposed to have the laces either at, when they come back to you, if the laces are at 6 o'clock and the top of the ball is at noon, supposed to at least move them to 9. He kicked it with the laces at 6:30.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn. I mean, it's good, but I'm sure he had a little conversation with his holder after that 62-yarder.
Well, they weren't done yet because Manuch has been screaming for Hollywood Brown to finally have a breakout game. Well, once again, thank you to Fox for this highlight.
Third down and goal. Fake to Connor. Dobbs retreats and floats for the end zone. It's Brown. It's a touchdown.
All right, so where were you then on Brown's game yesterday?
I thought he was good. Matter of fact, he was on the sideline bemoaning the fact, give me the damn ball.
Okay.
A couple times you saw Joshua Dobbs miss him on a couple reads, but the 5 receptions, the 61 yards, had the 1 touchdown. Outstanding catch, by the way. But I got to give Josh Dobbs a lot of credit. Yeah, the blitz was on, man-to-man coverage. Marquise Brown coming across. Dobbs looked off to his left, and he had enough room to step up and throw that ball low and outside, because if he doesn't get that football, at least they get 3 points.
Right.
But it was outstanding throw low. He gets his hands up underneath him. I saw one of those bound and determined, intense, fired up Hollywood Browns on the sideline and out there on the football
field. Is that the first time you've seen it that you
know
can
what?
remember?
I don't know, but I mean, many times last year the camera peruses the sideline.
Correct.
You might see that for D-Hop or a few other guys, but he was into it. He knew he could beat his guys several times. And when you have over a 12.2 average and you feel pretty good about yourself and you can beat that guy, he's like, hey, just give me the damn ball. And you could see a couple times he was upset with offensive coordinator Drew Pitzing as he walked by him. He had a couple of sharp comments as he walked by.
All right, we'll play Jonathan Gannon, the coach, in just a moment, but I want to follow up quickly with what you just said.
3 minutes.
When you have lost an all-pro cornerback, did they capitalize, meaning the Cardinals, on him not there.
I thought at times they did, but I think what they also realized is that they could spread the field out and throw on them.
Okay.
Now, the one thing that a stat was interesting is that Jonathan Gannon, as a defensive coordinator for the Philadelphia Eagles, it was 1-3 coming into this game. So I really thought that Drew Petzing did an outstanding job of a lot of motion, a lot of movement.
Okay.
And I thought he kept that defensive backfield, especially the defensive backfield for the Cowboys, off balance the entire game.
Cardinals head coach Jonathan Gannon, they put over 200 yards on the ground on the Cowboys. Here he is.
We popped some explosives. I think we won. The takeaway battle was even. The explosive play battle we won today off the top of my head. Rondell, James, those are some good hard-fought runs. That's a good defense, a really good defense. So obviously the O-line, making it go, but
2 minutes.
Execution of the plan was critical, and that's what they did.
All right, so we had a little fun at the beginning of the show today where I referenced Miami Dolphins have scored again. Manuch, they put a 70 burger on Denver. It was 70-20. Here's the head coach of the Dolphins, Mike McDaniel, talking about what his team did to put 70 on the Broncos.
Oh, it's a lot of players executing a lot of things to a standard that's unrelenting. I think that you see where guys are at. For me, when you have a lead, so many leads are vulnerable in this league. So we've talked at length all off season. Just about adversity, and sometimes
1 minute.
A score to lead because you can let the atmosphere dictate your product.
70-20, Miami over the Denver Broncos.
I don't think their complacency dictated their attitude in that game.
You're not kidding. Quickly to college football. A lot was made of this, and we're going to make something of it as well. Dan Lanning, the head coach at Oregon, in his pregame locker room speech, which was recorded and then played on national television as the Ducks just pummeled the Colorado Buffaloes. Lanning doing his best Deion Sanders impersonation for his team. Listen to this.
Rooted in substance, not flash. Rooted in substance. Today, we talk with our pads. You talk with your helmet, right? Every moment. The Cinderella story is over, man. Right? They're fighting for clicks. We're fighting for wins. There's a difference, right? There's a difference, right? This game ain't going to be played in Hollywood. It's going to be played on the grass, right? It's going to be played on the grass.
Wow. That was unbelievable.
Wow, Dan Lanning.
Unbelievable.
Didn't know you had that in you.
Sounds exactly like Kirby Smart.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, a little bit. Yeah, now that you reference that, absolutely.
And who says that these powerful teams don't have guys that get them jacked up?
Yeah.
What a great little locker room speech.
I loved it.
For them to come and put out. They could have put more than 42 points on
they
that
could
team.
have. They could have. Yeah, they could have easily. Hey, don't forget, tomorrow it is an El Bandito Yankee Tequila Tuesday at the Barrio Queen. Manuch, where are we going to be tomorrow?
We're going to be in Gilbert's.
That's
right there, downtown Gilbert.
Yeah, it's a great place. So come by and say hi and enjoy some incredible, authentic Mexican food and also try the El Bandito Yankee Tequila. 1 until 4 o'clock. We'll see you at the Barrio Queen in Gilbert. Sun Devils took the Trojans of USC right to the mat. They came up a little short, and the Cardinals pull off that big win over the Cowboys. Rudy Carpenter is coming up next. We're going to dive into those games with Rudy. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Fox Sports 910.
This
Clear.
is trending on Fox Sports 910 Phoenix.
He's calling us,
The
yeah?
Yanks were unable to protect a one-run lead versus the Yankees, allowing 3 in the 8th to lose 6-4
You got it.
in the series finale. The Yotes had a busy weekend, 5 games spread out over 3 days that included 2 in Australia versus the Kings. Their next preseason game is Friday against the Golden Knights. After notching that big upset win over the Cowboys, Cardinals coach Jonathan Gannon now says it's back to the drawing board for their Week 4 contest against the 49ers. Cardinal scouts attended ASU's game against USC on Saturday to get a look at potential top overall draft pick quarterback Caleb Williams. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
It's Chevy truck season, and with a Chevy Silverado, there's no such thing as an uphill battle. With a Chevy Silverado, you can take on the mountains, or you can move them. Because with impressive towing capability, an available 13.4-inch diagonal touchscreen, and the choice of powerful engines to pick from, whatever your mountain, there's a Silverado with the capability you need. See your Valley Chevy dealers.
Tune in Mondays from 1 to 4 as Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B broadcasts live from the CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. The Sportsbook at the CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona is sports fans' paradise. That's the guys live every Monday from CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona.
Are you looking for
Got Rudy on the line.
career path or just looking to get back into the employment market again? Look no further. All City Towing is searching for motivated teammates to join their team. Current openings are in the areas of customer service, tow truck operators, yard management, facilities maintenance, and dispatch. If you're looking for a challenging yet rewarding opportunity, a great benefits program including 401k program with a generous company match, and a company that is a leader in the industry, apply online at allcitytowing.com/careers or call All City's HR department at 480-833-7278. All City Towing is Arizona's largest towing transport vehicle storage provider. Locally owned and invested within the communities they service. If you enjoy helping others by providing great customer service, working as a team, and possess great communication skills, All City is for you. Apply online at allcitytowing.com/careers or call 480-833-7278. That's allcitytowing.com.
It's Jason Payne, owner of State 48 Roofing and your sexy status roof guy on Instagram and Facebook. Lesser roofers cut corners, cobbling together patchwork roofs to meet a budget, not State 48 Roofing. Give us a call today for your maintenance, repair, or full replacement needs.
Get the one and done you want for your dog's
He called in
monthly
early
protection.
today.
New
He usually
NexGard
calls like
Plus,
a minute before.
Moxidectin and pyrantel chewable tablets. Protects against fleas,
Very.
heartworm disease, roundworms, and hookworms. All in one delicious beef-flavored soft chew. Used with caution in dogs with a history of seizures or neurologic disorders. Dogs should be tested for existing heartworm infection prior to starting a preventive. Ask your vet about new NexGard Plus chews.
Did you know COVID-19 related ER visits are 3 times higher than the flu? Stay up to date with the latest COVID-19 vaccines, just like you do with the flu, because you've got no time for 19. The vaccine may not be for everyone. Please consult with your doctor. Brought to you by Moderna, proud sponsor of the iHeartRadio Music Festival.
All right, coming up in 30, Rudy Carpenter intro, and then a Joshua Dobbs highlight.
And around there, and even under there. Don't treat your groin like junk. Respect it with Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. DraftKings has all kinds of ways to get in on the action, including same-game parlays, props, live betting, and so much more. Use code SPORTS when you sign up on the DraftKings Sportsbook app to check it out.
Here to talk football is former Sun Devil quarterback, who, by the way, went 3-1 against that team in Tucson.
Carpenter going to go up with time, steps up, looks end zone, got a man, McGahee, touchdown! And Rudy Carpenter threw that right into the teeth, into the strength of the Wildcat defense.
Rudy Carpenter, now on Roc and Manuch on Fox Sports 910 on FM at 99.9 HD2.
I feel really good. As I said, coming here on obviously short notice, we all talk about the situation, right? And then not playing much in the preseason in Cleveland. So to come here and quickly get adjusted to a new team, similar terminology, but new people, get on the rhythm and timing. It's been great to make that adjustment and been great to show that growth. I feel more comfortable each and every day.
You guys are hot.
The team does as well.
That is Joshua Dobbs, the Cards QB, after the game and the big victory over the Dallas Cowboys. Former NFL quarterback, former Sun Devil QB, Rudy Carpenter joins us right now. You can follow him at Rudy G Carp 12 on Twitter or X. Rudy, it's Jimmy B and Manuch along with Jax. Welcome, Rudy, as always. Let me pick your brain right from the get-go then. Joshua Dobbs, how good did he play in yesterday's game, in your estimation, as the starting quarterback of the Cards?
I thought he played really well, to be honest with you. He protected the football, did a good job finding completions, putting the ball in play. letting his guys work, and then obviously he did a really good job himself in the run game. And like you heard him say, considering all of the situations and circumstances that he's been through, I thought he did a really, really nice job yesterday, especially against what everybody thought was supposed to be a really, really good defense.
And I thought he got a little scat in him there a little bit too, that little bootleg naked boot coming around that side of Micah Parsons. And Rudy, I always think that when you do that early on in a game and you do a handoff prior to, and then you come right back to, you must see something on tape that they see Parsons doing. But I thought that was kind of like, okay, we're here to let it rip. And I was surprised he got a little more speed than I thought he did.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times when you run the outside zone one way, if you see the backside defensive end or outside linebacker on the line of scrimmage crashing down really hard and making a tackle on the backside of that run play, that's when a lot of times the coaches will call the naked bootleg out the other way. I don't know, if that's what they saw. Obviously, I'm not watching the game film, but typically, that's how it works. And Josh did a good job with the fake and a good job with the run. I think the other thing he did a good job with the run was finishing, right?
Yes.
He could have stepped out of bounds a couple times and maybe not taking a hit, but he did a good job of maximizing all of the yards he could get. And for a guy who's in his position and trying to earn the respect of his coaches and teammates and organization, I thought that was obviously a really big play in the game.
Yeah, I thought 222 yards rushing, 182 in that first half. I think kind of set everything up, but I really felt that Drew Petzing, the way he utilized Rondale Moore, finally, coming out of the backfield on a few, I call a few slip screens, and then for Hollywood Brown getting the ball to him. I thought this was more of a balanced attack, and maybe a lot of that is because he's comfortable with Joshua Dobbs at quarterback, being able to make those throws or make the reads that he wants him to.
Yeah, I think all that is true, but at the end of the day, I think the most true thing is that anytime you get the run game going, it really, really helps. You watch the Dolphins play, and when they get the run game going, they're able to throw the ball all over the yard because they're able to create single safety defensive schemes. You watch the Kansas City Chiefs, and when they get the run game going, they're able to throw the ball all over the yard because it sets up their play action pass. And again, they're throwing against single high safety. And so I think for the Arizona Cardinals, it's the same. You get the run game going, you force them to bring more guys down into the box to play the run. And when you do that, you're obviously softer in the back end with your coverage. You have less guys in coverage, and it makes it easier to attack downfield for explosive plays. And when you talk about turnovers being a differentiator in a game, they are. When you talk about special teams plays and special teams touchdowns being difference makers in games, they are. But explosive plays are also a really big, difference maker in a game. And the Cardinals finally had some of those explosive plays this week that really can determine the outcome of the game.
Rudy, I want to get your thoughts before we move on to the Sun Devils about Dak Prescott. And I'm sorry, I'm not seeing the mental growth for this young man and coming from behind the pick in the playoff game against San Fran, that pick in the end zone late in the game. I hate to say this, but he's a very good front-running quarterback. I'm just not seeing the growth in him moving forward when he's got to lead a team down the field and blatantly, I don't know, just not see what's in front of him at times. That's just my opinion. I just want to get your thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, it's really tough. When they started out 2-0 and they were playing well, everybody loved Dak Prescott. And I think that's also, part of the problem about being the starting quarterback in Dallas is you're always in primetime situations. You're going to get a lot of scrutiny, and I'm sure that's something that he's used to, and that is what it is. You're always judged based on wins and losses as an NFL quarterback, and I think the scrutiny is extra large in Dallas, and so that's just part of it. But yeah, I mean, he threw a lot of interceptions last year, even though he missed some games. I think he still led the league in interceptions, so you can't do that. And then on top of that, it's like every time you think Dak has turned the corner, and every time you think he might be the player that everyone thinks he's going to be or maybe showed to be at some point in time, then all of a sudden he has a blunder like this. And I think it's a little sucky for him because people look at the Arizona Cardinals and think they're tanking and that they're playing for the first pick and they're just an awful team. And look, they're 1-2. But at the end of the day, this is a team that, really could be 3-0 very easily. And they're playing hard for their head coach and their GM. And so I think, you really got to respect that.
I'm with you on that. And I think the Bears, there's no question they are the worst team in the National Football League by a long way. Chicago is. All right, let's move now to the college game and what we witnessed with Arizona State and also with USC. I'm telling you right now, and I know we're not odds makers, but we do discuss lines. And when it came out at over 30 points, I think a lot of people thought that ASU was just going to get destroyed. So my question to you is, Rudy, as a quarterback, what did you see from Pine that was so different in that game against USC that wasn't there when he entered the game against Fresno State?
Well, I thought they were going to get destroyed too. I wasn't confident enough to put any money on it and bet on it. But look, I don't. It's really hard to say because the offense they still gave up a lot of sacks and they still
3
turned
minutes
the ball over. I think he probably has some comfortability playing against USC because he's played against them before and had success, and he's not scared. But I also think probably the play calling of Kenny Dillingham probably mattered, right? Like I think Kenny took over the play calling, and I'm not bashing Bo Baldwin or anybody else, but I think Kenny just has a better feel for how he wants this offense to run and how he wants this offense to be called and how he wants it to be executed. And with him calling plays, I think it's probably a little bit better for this team.
Already I mentioned that a little bit earlier, the creativity, the motion. You having Scatterbo pretty much, at a Wildcat doing his thing, throwing a couple of passes in reference to that, 2 for 3 passes to be exact. But you're right. I saw a little more creativity, a little more off-balance defense. And, he's called plays against this USC team when he was at Oregon. But I just saw a little more set, a little more maybe continuity with the offense in Friday and Saturday night's game.
Yeah, I think that could be true. I mean, also, Drew Pine being in this offense longer and having a better understanding of how it's supposed to execute and what he's supposed to do, I think that probably helps too, right? I think all of it matters. It'll be interesting to see, what these guys do the rest of the year. I feel bad for Kenny and ASU in the sense they just have so many injuries and they especially have them up front. It just makes it so difficult to call plays.
Rudy Carpenter is our guest on the Right Toyota guest line. One final question then. So even though they did not win the game in college football, is the coach telling his team, look, you can play with the big boys even though they lost? Is it an emotional mind win for ASU or not?
Look, here's the unfortunate.
1 minute, 1 minute.
Look, when I used to sit in these meeting rooms and coaches would come in and give like some victory, or some speech about moral victories, I used to just shake my head and be like, I'm just someone that doesn't believe in moral victories. It's so ridiculous. You're just making yourself and your coaching staff feel better about the terrible job that everybody is doing. So that is what it is. And then all of a sudden I started coaching football teams and I found myself doing that every time that we lost. And I was like, man, I can't believe I'm into moral victories now. So look, at the end of the day, I mean, every team is different. Every season is different. And I think Kenny probably feels like, man, we are at a major disadvantage regarding our personnel, regarding the situation that we got put in with the NCAA issues, et cetera, et cetera. And I think he's just trying, and then they have the injuries. I think he's just trying everything he can to keep this team, fighting and to keep this team, fighting on his behalf and playing hard. And he's trying to put something on tape that everybody can be proud of, even if they're losing games. And I think, even though they lost this USC game, I think there's probably a lot that coaching staff can find that they can be happy and proud of. But at the end of the day, I mean, you're still losing, and that's no fun.
Rudy, thank you as always, pal. You have a great day. Enjoy it.
All right, guys, take care.
There you go, Rudy Carpenter, former NFL Sun Devil QB. His breakdown of the Cardinals' upset over the Dallas Cowboys and also ASU coming up a little bit short against powerhouse USC. He's all presented by All City Towing, and they continue to grow. They've got a brand new fleet of trucks, and they are hiring. That's correct. They have immediate full-time positions available. They have terrific benefits, which include medical, dental, disability, employee assistance programs. And by the way, if you like free money, yes, they also have a 401k program with a 50% match option. It's all available. All you have to do is just go to allcitytowing.com and search careers. Once again, that's allcitytowing.com and search careers. You're looking for a new job, a job that pays well, and an employer that appreciates their employees. It's allcitytowing.com and search careers. All right, everybody, coming up, it's our football at 50. Also, random, senseless, useless, did you know? Facts. It's next, live from the CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona.
Clear is The Odd Couple with Chris Broussard and Rob Parker.
A lot of people refer to Cam Akers. He suffered the same injury.
He was 40 years old?
There you go.
I mean,
Not
come
to mention,
on.
Rob, he came back. It was 5 months, 28 days. He got hurt in July and came back for the last game of the season and the playoffs. Rodgers was hurt in September.
With Chris Broussard and Rob Parker. Today at 4, tell your smart speaker to play Fox Sports 910.
Come chill and get your fill at Arena Sports Grill. Arena Sports Grill is your home for Nebraska Cornhusker football and the National Football League. Watch all your favorite sports, plus off-track wagering with the ponies. Arena even caters to the night owls with breakfast on the weekends till 2. NFL Mondays and Thursdays are packed with happy hour specials daily till 7 and other incredible drink and food specials. It's Arena Sports Grill, 64th Street in Bell, North Scottsdale's friendly sports bar since 1998.
Jimmy B broadcasts live from the CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. The Sportsbook at the CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona is sports fans' paradise. That's the guys, live every Monday from CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona.
Looking for the perfect destination to perfect your putting? Welcome to Putting World, the ultimate 18-hole indoor putting course designed to delight golf enthusiasts of all levels. Immerse yourself in the art of putting as you navigate our greens. Whether you're a seasoned golfer or a curious beginner, Putting World promises an unforgettable experience for everyone. Swing by today to elevate your golf game to new heights. Visit us at the Scottsdale Promenade or learn more at puttingworld.com.
Any car dealer in Arizona can compete on price. That's what dealers do. But not many dealers can compete on customer satisfaction. Like Wright Toyota. Make the right choice. Wright Toyota in Scottsdale.
All right.
The 101 on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard. And online at wrighttoyota.com.
Hey, sports fans, celebrate every big game with El Bandito Yankee, an ultra-premium tequila made from 100% Blue Weber agave in the highlands of Jalisco. Their certified additive-free Blanco and Reposado features a unique oxygenation process for a rich smoothness without that tequila burn. It's why they won platinum and gold medals and are now listed as one of the world's top tequilas by Rolling Stone. Head over to your local store, favorite bar, or restaurant in all 7 Barrio Queen locations. Go to elbanditoyankee.com and break out the Bandito with the official tequila of game day.
Not only does my friend Wayne from Plum Smart Plumbing, Heating, and Air give you the best rates in town at about half the cost of the other guys, he's also giving you the best referral plan ever. For every person you refer to Plum Smart, you can earn 5% of whatever they spend as a credit on your account. You can build up credits over time and use them whenever you want. And the best part, this applies to all future services they get. Go to itsjustplumsmart.com. That's itsjustplumsmart.com, because plumbers and AC guys charge too much.
In 30, football at 50.
To Capitol Hill, agents who are realtors are standing up for what's right. We're here protecting property rights. Here advocating for the issues that affect our neighborhoods. Here championing fair and equitable housing for all. Because we are realtors, bound by a code of ethics, driven to serve our communities.
Football at 50 and 10.
We're here for it all. Here for you. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
Let's get ready for football!
It's football at 50. the latest top football story trending this hour, right here with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy.
All right.
On Fox Sports 910.
You guys there?
Yep. Radio Hour.
All right, everybody, let's get you caught up to date on football at 50. And this is just awful for the LA Chargers because their best receiver, Mike Williams, suffering a season-ending ACL tear in his knee. Remember, they won yesterday at Minnesota 28-24, and now Williams is out for the rest of the year.
And for you fantasy players that had Mike Williams, heads up, you're going to have to replace him. Adam Schefter reported that bright and early this morning that he is definitely out for the rest of the year. And you watch the play, Jimmy. He gets the catch, he runs in, and he makes a cut. A couple guys tackle him. It's not as if anybody hit him wrong. His knee just buckled.
Yeah.
It's a proverbial cut on the turf. Your knee buckles. Fortunately, just an ACL tear, not a complete blowout from that standpoint.
Pittsburgh Steelers, after they won in Las Vegas last night, they were on their way home, and they had an emergency landing at Kansas City Airport. The reason, they were having some engine problems. So they had to put the plane down on the ground. No issues there. Multiple reports said it was oil pressure failure in one of the engines.
Well, that'll get your attention right there.
It did me.
Yeah, we were flying back to – I remember one time we were going back to San Diego in a regular season game, and we're flying back there. And over Kansas City, folks, fly from Buffalo to San Diego. We lost our hydraulic fluid. Mm-hmm. All of it gone for some reason. So we had to go to LAX and use their long runway. They've got one of the longer runways in the nation. We had no brakes.
Oh, boy.
No brakes. So we got in the crash position, had to take our shoes off. I don't know why they make you take your shoes off.
I don't either.
But anyways, we get in the crash position. We land, and that plane rolled and rolled and rolled and rolled. They do reverse thrusts. We dang near rolled all the way to where, you know what the fence is?
Yeah.
And then you got that barrier breaker.
Yep.
We were about 20 yards.
Wow.
From that bad boy with the fire trucks on both sides. And we get off the plane and we hang out for a couple hours. And, hey, it's fixed. And everybody goes, nope.
We're not getting on.
So we take a DC-10.
Yeah.
All of us Buffalo Bills for a half-hour flight to San Diego. We're not getting back on that
I would
plane.
not get back on that plane either. By the way, there are 2 NFL games tonight. Eagles at the Bucks and the Rams at the Bengals. And don't forget, 23rd year of the Monday night tailgate is right here at the CAZ Sports Bar and Sports Book. It's going to be a great time this evening. Okay, Football at 50 sponsored by Twin Peaks, now with 5 Valley locations, and we have teamed up with Twin Peaks, Blue Moon, and Coors Light.
3
minutes. You get a chance to win one of 5 65-inch big screen TVs. Just text Peaks to 59925. That's Peaks to 59925. Okay, now let's get to some random facts of the day brought to you by your Valley Chevy dealers. And we begin with the Miami Dolphins knocking off the Denver Broncos in yesterday's game 70-20. That was the most points by one team since 1966 and the 4th 70-point game in NFL history, including the playoffs. The record is 73 points.
It's just amazing to me, Jimmy, when you see that. They gained 726 yards. When they talk about the new Super Bowl era, the most since. And you look at the modern NFL history, record 5 rushing touchdowns and 5 passing TDs in a single game. And you just think that you'd never see
2 minutes
something happen like that. But last time it happened in the modern era was way back in 1966 when Washington scored 72.
Wow.
Versus the then New York Giants football club. And that was, you think back, okay. But even then, you know, it was the modern day passing had not come that far.
Right.
And then you look at some of the running game was pretty proficient. But that's one of those things where you go, wow, we never thought we'd see the day in modern era football,
right,
where we take the scores, have anybody put a 70 burger, especially on the Denver Broncos, the Sean Payton-led Denver Broncos.
That's it.
Wonder if Sean Payton's feeling, I know the money's good, but should I have rethought this bad boy before I taken this job on? 0-3, you Denver Bronco fans.
There you go. By the way, here's a useless random fact. It takes approximately 540 peanuts to make one 12-ounce jar of peanut butter.
I'm a peanut butter fan.
I am too. I'm
do-
a peanut butter and jelly guy.
1 minute.
They'll do a
1
couple
minute.
of PB&Js if I need to. So those are some of our random facts of the day.
Al, brought to you by your Chevy dealers. See your Valley Chevy dealers today. During Chevy truck season, every truck has a story. Make yours a strong one. It's Chevy truck season. See your Valley Chevy dealers today. All right, coming up in hour number 2, a recap of week 4 in college football. The D-backs in the wild card race.
30.
It was not good news today if you're a D-backs fan against the Yankees. And Channel 15 Sports Director Craig Fooey, Factor Fooey, is coming your way as well. We're hanging out here at Casino Arizona, the CAZ Sportsbook and Sports Bar. It's continuing with Roc, Manuch, Jimmy B, Jax, Connor back in the studio on Fox Sports 910.
Clear.
There are many signs that you may be in financial trouble. Late mortgage payments, paying bills from your retirement account, or paying one credit card with another. If you're experiencing financial hardship, bankruptcy may be right for you. The credit industry wants you to believe that bankruptcy is bad and will destroy your credit forever, but that's just not true. At Lerner & Rowe Law Group, we'll take the time to carefully examine your situation and develop a plan that is right for you. Call Lerner & Rowe Law Group today for a free consultation.
Lerner & Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Sean Forster, Managing Attorney.
Jenny!
Hey, Jenny!
Jenny, come on in! Steve!
Hey, Steve!
Steve, how you doing?
Meg!
Meg, nice to see you! Hey, Meg!
Arena Sports Grill. Come on out for the sports, off-track betting, incredible food, and friendly faces. The best daily specials in Scottsdale. Arena Sports Grill, 62nd Street in Bell. We know you.
The NFL is back, and your free iHeartRadio app is your home for the NFL Podcast Network with full coverage of all 32 NFL teams. Get in-depth analysis from the pros on Around the NFL. Win bragging rights in this year's draft with tips from the NFL Fantasy Football Podcast and more. Download the free iHeartRadio app today.
Sheba presents What Cats Want. Cats want Sheba perfect portions, cuts, and gravy. 2 convenient servings of roasted chicken covered in savory gravy. Know what else cats want? The red dot from your laser pointer. On the wall, on the ceiling, on the couch, on the floor, on the vase. Buy Sheba perfect portions, cuts, and gravy. 0 mess, 0 leftovers. Snap, peel, serve. Sheba, what cats want.
Duke's Sports Grill on Miller and McDowell.
Duke's on Miller and McDowell.
Don't just drink at Duke's, play at Duke's.
Duke's on Miller and McDowell.
Pool, shuffleboard, darts, karaoke, and trivia nights.
Duke's on Miller and McDowell.
3 huge patios on the Greenbelt, all doggy friendly.
Duke's on Miller and McDowell.
Named one of the New Times best bars in town.
Duke's on Miller and McDowell.
Daily food specials.
Duke's on Miller and McDowell.
Where Goose, Miller and McDowell. Scottsdale.
When you buy Kroger brand products, you feel like you're winning. That's because they offer proven quality at lower than low prices. In fact, we guarantee that you and your family will love how Kroger brand products taste, or you get your money back. So next time you're shopping for the family, look for delicious Kroger brand products, because they'll make you all feel like you're winning. Shop now, in-store, or online. Fries, fresh for everyone.
Gillette Intimate gives guys a gentle and easy shave on there, and around there, and even under there. Don't treat your groin like junk. Respect it with Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
Joe Brown here with Accident Law Group. If you were hurt in an accident, find us on the web at accidentlawgroup.com.
The Herd with Colin Cowherd. Tomorrow from 10 to 1. This is KGME Phoenix, KESC HD2 Phoenix. Listen on the free iHeartRadio app for all your sports talk, podcasts, and music. Free never sounded so good.
After notching the upset win over the Cowboys yesterday, Cardinals coach Jonathan Gannon says it's back to the drawing board now for their Week 4 contest against the 49ers. Meanwhile, Cardinals scouts attended a game against USC to get an up-close top overall draft pick quarterback Caleb Williams. Not a good day for the Diamondbacks. They couldn't hold a one-run lead against the Yankees, allowing 3 in the 8th and losing 6-4 in the series finale. The Yotes had a busy weekend, 5 games over 3 days, including 2 in Australia against the Kings. Their next preseason contest is Friday versus the Golden Knights. I'm Frank Arity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
This is the Parker & Sons Weather Center. For all your AC, plumbing, and electric needs, call Parker.
For your Monday starting to warm up, we'll see those temperatures right around 102 degrees with clear skies, and then for tonight dipping down into those mid-70s and mostly clear. For the Fox 10 weather experts, I'm Ty Brennan.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
30 seconds for CAZ Top Stories intro.
If you're like many people, you may think custom blinds is a job for expensive professionals. Well, at Blindster, if you have a tape measure and a screwdriver, you can install our custom blinds and save big. Plus, we guarantee they'll fit. Blindster.com.
Time for the top local and national stories of the hour. Powered by the Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona. Bet big on your favorite teams and players in an environment that's as exciting as the game you're watching. There's no better place in the Valley to get in on the action. The Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar. Now, guys, what's your top story this hour?
All right, everybody, welcome back in. We're hanging out Casino, Arizona's where you can find us for the big Monday night tailgate. 2 games this evening, and we will have, once again, the big Monday night tailgate. We'll explain all about that throughout the course of the show today. The Diamondbacks concluded their trip to New York with a game today because the Saturday game was rained out. So they played today against the Yankees, and the Yankees put the hurting on the D-backs. Final 6-4. They used the long ball, Manuch, to keep themselves in the game and then take the lead.
Yeah, they did, and it's unfortunate. Merrill Kelly, he took the bump tonight. Only goes today, I should say. Goes 5 innings, gave up 4 hits, 2 runs, and not bad. The Diamondbacks' bats were hot once again, but we've been bemoaning the fact that how well the Diamondbacks bullpen's been going. A 7-1 victory yesterday. They pretty much held serve, but Genkel comes in and goes 2/3 of an inning. He gives up 2 hits, 3 runs, all earned, and with the 2 walks. And therein lies, you talk about the long ball by this New York Yankees team does in the Diamondbacks, and that's one of those things that you get pretty much. You got to get away tonight, going to the south side of Chicago. You got a 3-game set pretty much going into Chicago, but those are some of those games where you're just hoping that the bullpen just holds serve.
Yep.
With the 3-game set against the White Sox, and then coming home with your last 3-game set against the Houston Astros.
Well, you just referenced something, too, because yesterday Gallen pitched and then Kelly today. So now in that White Sox series, you are not going to get your 2 best pitchers on the mound.
Yeah, and if I take a quick look at it, you got the day rest pretty much. You're supposed to travel today, but they're going to jump on a plane and go get after tonight. But you're right. It's going to be the bottom half of that starting rotation that you got to take a look at, who did very well against the Cubs. I will say that, Jimmy. So tomorrow you got Davies will take the mound. Then on Wednesday, Ryan Nelson. And then on Thursday, Fott's going to be taking the mound before you end it with Gallen, Kelly, and Davies. And to your point, Jimmy, wow, okay, are they on thin ice with Davies, Nelson, and Fott?
They are.
Taking the bump the next 3 days. Unfortunately, it's against the White Sox.
Right.
But, hell, you never know. I mean, these guys are playing for a little something. Maybe they find some motivation and, hey, look.
They're playing for a job.
Well, either that, they're playing to be spoilers to keep the Diamondbacks out of their wild card race. The D-backs are a half game up in second place, followed closely by the Cubs and then the Marlins. I think the Reds are out of it. I think that Padres are definitely out of it. But I just think that you got to find some kind of motivation for your last 6 games of the year if you're a ball player, right?
I agree.
You mentioned playing for jobs.
Yep.
Hey, we're out here. Let's play. Let's put something together. Let's be spoilers. Let's knock these guys out because they're playing their bottom half of the starting rotation. So if I'm Troy Lovello, I say, okay, guys, hey, bullpen, all hands on deck. If I'm the pitching coach, guys, be ready. If we can get 4, 5, 6 innings out of these next 3 games, great. If not, just be ready to go. And I think that's the kind of business mindset you're going to have for this D-backs ball club.
All right, so in the NFL, the Cardinals shocked the world. I mean, look, they were, and when they kicked off, it started at 12.5, the line did, and then finished at 11 because there was so much action on the Cardinals at 12.5. And no one, and I mean no one, with the exception of the blind squirrel finds a nut once in a while, my esteemed colleague Manuch gave the Cardinals a ghost of a chance, but you did.
I broke it down and told you what they need to do. I said that they have a chance, like any NFL team has a chance. How do you explain Texas going into Jacksonville?
I can't explain that one either. Yeah.
Going away.
Yeah.
I mean, going away, they do that. And then with this Dallas Cowboys game, and you lose your starting cornerback. Lo and behold, we talked about their center being dinged up with the hamstring. Well, he and two other linemen for the Cowboys don't start. And a lot of the things that I said is, okay, if you got a team that's banged up and dinged up, there's a chance if you do this, and this. I think I had a litany of things offensively. And so for some things defensively that this Cardinal team had to do. But I will say this as well, too. I'll just to give the Cowboys credit for some of that loss. You have 13 penalties, 8 in the first half. You turn the ball over. You pretty much there's a lot of missed tackles from this team. They looked a little, I'm not going to say disinterested. They didn't have the kind of intensity or verve, if you will, that you saw in the first 2 games of the year.
It's funny that you said that because that was the line when I checked some of the Dallas people with their estimation of what they saw. It felt like all they had to do, meaning the Cowboys, was get off the bus and they could win this game.
And let me ask you guys, when's the last time you saw the Cowboys this year or in modern era go 1 for 5 in the red zone? Now, they blew 2 fourth-down opportunities. Give the Cardinals credit.
For that.
They made the stand that they had to make. But I got to tell you what, I mean, the Cardinals defense, they came out ready to play. I think this team, Jimmy, you mentioned this earlier, I mean, they could be very, very easily 3-0.
Could be.
I'll pump the brakes on that a little bit,
right.
But they could be 3-0. But I think that they realize that they can make the stops they can. But the Cowboys, 1-5, you got to give the defense a lot of credit in the red zone.
Well, specifically, Kytrell Clark and Marco Wilson. I mean, the one-on-ones on the outside. Kytrell Clark, rookie 6th-round pick out of Louisville. 2 pass deflections on one of the best receivers in the league, CeeDee Lamb, and then Marco Wilson against Gallup too, which shocked me because 3-4 minutes left in the game. You know, if the Cowboys score, they're down 4 points. They could get the ball back 3 or 4 points. Them electing to run the ball instead of maybe going one-on-one on the outside tells you that Dak Prescott in this offense wasn't comfortable throwing it on the outside.
And Dak's that point. Why not kick the field goal? Be down by 5. They went for it. They got stopped. So now they gotta go ahead and score and get the 2-point conversion. They're down by 8.
Yep.
You get the field goal, a chip shot field goal. You get the ball back. You score. You don't have to rely on the 2-point conversion. There was just a lot of Mike McCartney gaffes that I saw, and I know he's conservative.
He is.
But, man, when you're playing a fired-up defense like the Arizona Cardinals, you got to take the points in a close game. And I thought when they tried to impose their will that it just wasn't there, and that's why I said 1 out of 5. I think the valuable lesson that a team learns, and fortunate for Cowboy fans, this is early in the year, that you get into a game where you're just out of sorts, and you got to figure out a way to win a game, that you get the points when you can, and you figure it out and get your chance to win it. But to your point, Jax, why are you running it down there inside the 5-yard line when you get smoked and get stiffened up?
When the time's rolling down too, and you got 3 timeouts, you want to get the ball back, have your defense have enough time to stop them for 3, get the timeouts, maybe have 2 minutes left to get the game-winning score.
And I don't know about you guys, I am just not seeing the mental growth, mental maturity in Dak Prescott when he has to come from behind and to make that throw. Kazir White was standing right there. Now he kind of went to his left, and then he came back underneath him. So did he bait him? But when you have 3 guys around, a guy in the back of the end zone, a couple things you do. Either you sail it or you see that and you go to the outside because it was kind of a soft zone there. And White kind of went to his left and came back, and he didn't even hesitate, man. He didn't even read it. He kind of predetermined. And as a guy with his experience, supposedly, you got to read that. You can't just decide, I got my guy there. And if anything, throw it high for your guy to go get it. If he doesn't get it, nobody gets it. You live for another down.
I was going to say a guy we haven't mentioned. You guys mentioned it too after preseason, them going to the waiver wire.
Right.
Kavon Wallace has been unreal. From former Eagle, comes over here with Gannon and Rallis. I've been impressed by him, Manuch. I mean, a guy that's replaced what they thought Isaiah Simmons was going to be at that nickel position.
It's interesting. You watch the game, you go, okay, Wallace and Turner and this guy and that guy. I mean, there's a lot of guys that have been elevated from the kid's name Stills or Stilly. The kid was on the practice squad.
Stilley.
Yeah, on Saturday. They activate him on Sunday, and he's doing a yeoman's job, if you will. And then Thomas, I thought, did a good job. So some of the Cardinals plug-and-play guys from the depth on the defensive side, I got to tell you what, they're doing a very good job.
For the Arizona State Sun Devils, a game which was 35 points for the odds makers. Manuch, they were in this game into the fourth quarter. And it was, I guess, I was so surprised that USC was still fighting to try to secure that victory in the fourth quarter. I think most people felt that USC was going to blow them out. So what was the difference for ASU?
Well, I think really when I was watching the game and seeing what I see, I think Kenny Dillingham's play calling.
Okay.
And a very inspired defense, a great defensive game plan. I think a very good defensive game plan, offensive game plan by Kenny Dillingham. But I really believe that the experience that Kenny Dillingham had at Oregon benefited very well from the offense and defensive side to help his defensive staff as to what we're going to be seeing with Caleb Williams at quarterback. But I thought the way he used Scatterbo, threw the ball, 4 times, was 3 for 4.
Mm-hmm.
He just didn't show up in shotgun and run it. They utilized him throwing the ball. So there's another weapon, another piece of tape that when Colorado comes, and by the way, folks, the Colorado game is going to be a 3:30 kick. I think it might be like 95, 99 a kick. See how those Colorado Buffaloes handle that heat on Sun Devil Stadium, Frank Kush Field. But, I mean, I really felt I saw more a more specific, altogether game plan on both sides of the ball, if that makes sense. I really felt that they had continuity. There was chemistry on the offensive side. I thought there was a rhyme and reason to the play call when you saw them. And then the success with Pine throwing the football, even though he had the one interception, an ill-advised throw. On that deep throw, whether it was a short fade or a go route, you got to miss him.
2 minutes.
If they connect on that, they might go down and tie this bad boy up.
I think the best part of that, too, is it was a sold-out crowd. So his motto of activating the Valley, his thing after was saying, hey, we feed off of the crowd. This is what you can expect if we can bring these fans on every single week for the Sun Devils. It was a great atmosphere there.
Yeah, it was. A lot of USC fans there, obviously.
Well, they were
obviously
there, yeah.
Caleb Williams.
But you know what? As a Sun Devil fan, a lot of folks went there and went, well, okay, we need to give this team a little help. Let's go in there and cheer them on. And they might get blown up by 21, by 28 points. But the final score, I thought the last touchdown was pretty much, a garbage touchdown.
Right.
Otherwise, you look at this, if it's 35-28, you got a chance to go down and tie this bad boy up. That might have been, if they won, might have been one of the greatest upsets in Sun Devil history for that 35-point spread you're talking about, Jimmy.
It really could have been. Hey, listen, we're hanging out here at Casino Arizona like we always do on Monday. We're in the CAZ Sports Bar and Sports Book, and it is Monday night tailgate tonight, and there's a double dip that's going to take place, and we've got cash to give you. It doesn't cost you anything. Just show up. Watch the games on TV. If you want to make a few wagers, they're ready for you at the sports book. You can do that as well. But we give away cash throughout the games. You need to get your booty here before the games kick because this joint is going to be absolutely jammed with 2 games tonight. All right, coming up, Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. It's all presented by Turner and Rowe. And when we come back, we're going to dive into a lot of college football in our next segment. This is Fox Sports 910.
Arizona's largest locally owned A-plus BBB rated towing company is All City Towing. They're always looking to add motivated and competitive team members. Do you fit the bill? If so, head on over to allcitytowing.com/careers for more information.
Rock for WhiteToyota.com. At Wright Toyota, they'd like you to get to know them. Their goal is to make buying your next vehicle the kind of experience that earns your recommendation to family and friends. They invite you to use all of their innovative web tools on righttoyota.com. So if you're looking for a new or pre-owned Toyota, head to their interactive website at righttoyota.com. The right price, the right selection, all at righttoyota.com.
Got the urge to pick games each week? Thursday, Sunday, even Mondays? Then sign up now for the Twin Peaks Fan Pick'em, courtesy of Blue Moon and Coors Light. It's totally free to play. Head to fanpick'em.com. That's fanpick'em.com.
Heart failure, carpal tunnel syndrome, shortness of breath, stomach issues, lower back pain. How does it all add up? If you have heart failure and any of those seemingly unrelated symptoms,
All right, in 1 minute, we got the CAZ Sports Bar rejoiner with a Deion Sanders
ATTRCM is a rare and underdiagnosed disease. Recognize the signs and discuss them with your doctor soon. Learn more at connectwithyourheart.com. That's connectwithyourheart.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hey, if you're thinking about getting the latest iPhone, check this out. With Boost Infinite, you get the latest iPhone every year and unlimited wireless for just $60 a month. Yeah, you get the new titanium iPhone 15 Pro that was just announced. Then again, next year, you get the latest iPhone every year. Boost Infinite, infinitely better. To learn more, pick up your phone, dial pound 250 and say Boost Infinite. That's pound 250 and say Boost Infinite. Terms apply. After 30 gigabytes, service may be slow. Receive a comparable iPhone model each year with an acceptable trade-in every year. Requires credit qualification and 36-month loan financing agreement. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto-dial text message from iHeartMedia.
Broadcasting live from the CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. The Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona is a sports fan's paradise. You are locked in to Fox Sports 910, live from CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona.
It translates in practice. I don't say stuff just to say it for a click, on contrary to what somebody say. But I keep receipts. But I'm serious. I analyze and I understand what we're up against and what we have and what we need. One thing that I could say honestly and candidly, you better get me right now. This is the worst we're going to be. You better get me right now. Now I got messengers. God bless him though, man. He's a great coach. He did a great job. God bless him.
You guys are hot.
Take their shots. They won. I don't shoot. I don't do that. They won.
And that's Deion Sanders, head coach of the Colorado Buffaloes. Oregon blasted him. And I thought that was pretty good the way that Deion handled it. I watched at the end of the game, the handshake was somewhat cordial at midfield between Sanders and Lanning, the head coach of the Ducks. But they did get blasted. Oregon is far and away a much better team, Manuch. But I think Deion's onto something. He says, you better get us now because in the future, we're going to be even better.
Well, if you're going to try to smack talk against Deion, you're probably not going to lose. You're not going to win that battle.
Fair.
He's going to come back. But at that point, talking about the clicks and I just, that's the next day. He's hearing all that, secondhand after it's all said and done. I think at some point as a head coach, Jimmy, you ignore the noise, you move on and say, hey, look, credit to Oregon. They kicked our butt. We're pretty much we're a team that's on the build. We're on the mend. We're going to do our best. I think that Deion is encouraging it. So I think a lot of fans see when another coach comes back at you and hammers you with the little tit for tat that goes on back and forth.
Sure.
I think at some point, all right, Deion, we get it. Let's move on. I know you keep receipts. I know you do this. I know you do that. That's a coach that just pretty much is just letting his guys know, hey, look, don't get caught up in their noise. And, and for Deion to say, hey, look, hey, get us now while you can. For me personally, I'm like, you know what? Credit to them. Mm-hmm. We're going to move on. We're going to do our best. We got to take on Arizona State next week.
Right.
We got to get some things corrected. But if that's the pool you're going to live in, I think for a lot of fans, it's that goes back and forth. Some people might like that. At some point, I'm like, okay, Deion, you're good about that. You're the clicks to this, to that. I'm like, let's just play the game. Let's just go ahead and go. And I know that you want the attention on you and off of your team because your team could have got smoked. They talk about 70 points.
Yeah.
Oregon could have put a 70 burger on you.
I'm with you on that.
They could have really embarrassed you and exposed you for all that that folks want to do. So that's not Deion's game. But just expect that tit for tat going back and forth as a football fan if you like what's going on in Colorado.
7 sacks for Oregon. Yikes.
Yeah.
If you're Shedeur Sanders. I think that was the biggest difference there, seeing Oregon's defensive line and offensive line. That's where they're built different, and that's where Prime will go next year.
You bet.
In the portal is in
Sure.
that area.
And you know what?
Yep,
and,
he
and,
will.
and he's just saying, look, folks, what I'm doing is the way I'm going to do it. I'm going to go get people, and we're going to take our lumps this first year. And he knows who he can compete with and who he can't compete with. But he's just kind of saying, all right, if you want to take shots at me. Well, the reason why I'm taking shots at you, Dion, is because you're putting it out there, and they just want to protect their guys.
Sure.
In order to say, all right, if you want clicks, we're going to play football. We're not worried about Hollywood or Hollywood East, if you will, and go down that road.
All right. University of Arizona went to Stanford. Ugly game, but they found a way to win the game, Manuch, by 1 point. Delora struggled, got hurt, but I guess that says something about where Fish has got his team right now as far as competing no matter who's at quarterback.
Yeah, and that's they had to come back from behind, and Fafita was the young man that came in, and you talked about Delora and Fafita. He might be, what do you think, Jax? All of maybe 5'6", if that.
Of the backup?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you mean I can look him in the eye? I like
Jimmy,
that.
you might tower over Noah Fafita. But he came in, he was 4 for 4. I got to say this. Folks.
Yeah.
He throws the hell out of the ball.
Yeah.
He throws a very good ball. Had the 47 yards and kind of much, held serve in reference to, coming into that game. But, they come back. They win that game. And you look at, Stanford, game all they can. They're up 10-7 at the half. And it's pretty much, 17 to 7. Cats come back. They get 3 in the third and 7 in the third and 7 in the fourth quarter to win that game. And as we know, Glenn Howell on last week says U of A wins. They always struggle at Palo Alto.
They do.
On the farm, if you will. But good win to go on the road. It's a Pac-12 victory. And for U of A, those are some of the building blocks in Jed Fish's third year that I think for a lot of Wildcat fans that they need to see.
Oh, and then heads up, Washington's coming into town this week.
Ooh, yeah.
Heads up
Michael
at USC
Penix.
the week after.
Jax-
At Wazoo the week after that.
Jax, couldn't you have held that till like Thursday? Why would you want to rain on that parade they're having there in U of A? Let them enjoy it for a couple days.
I'll
man.
tell you why he's doing that, because he doesn't want us to really mention what took place with his former team, the Montana Grizzlies. Congrats to Northern Arizona University, the Lumberjacks, getting their first win of the season.
Yeah, we'll catch up with Mitch Stroman on Wednesday, and you got to know that a very downtrodden, NAU team, when you really stop and think about where their season was going, they were 0 so far. Here comes 11th ranked, by the way, 11th ranked Montana that comes in, and they lose that game 28 to 14. Adam DeMonte, the young man from ALA Gilbert, comes in 212 yards, has a 1 touchdown pass. But they came after. It's pretty much, it was 21-14 at half.
Mm-hmm.
And then you shut out the Montana Grizz. By the way, did I mention they were 11th ranked?
Yeah, you did.
In the second half, and all you needed was the 7 points for an insurance touchdown. There were zeros in that fourth quarter, but for Chris Ball, his defensive staff, to pretty much do what they did against this Montana Grizz team, who was ranked 11th.
Yeah, I got it, dude. I got it.
The Big Sky Showdown, and Jax, that was one of those what the what. So this is what the what Monday.
Yeah, and I think part of it too. Credit to NAU, they got a former quarterback from Montana, Britt, who I heard my sources say that he was looking at our play signals, which was smart on NAU's part to do that, because we've had the same signals for a while. So he recognized that he was there for Montana last year. But Manuch, you know this. 12 first downs as an offense for Montana, 2 of 12 on third down, and 1 of 4 on fourth down. It's not going to win you ball games.
Yeah.
Execution, flat out. I think NAU took advantage of field position and having turnovers inside of the red zone of Montana to make sure they had points there. But, kudos to NAU. Execution was there, and maybe Montana needs a little bit of a wake-up call.
Was somebody banging a drum somewhere? Did they steal the same scenario that the Houston Astros had stolen and on those signals?
That's smart by them, I guess.
You were seeing counter signals to the defense. You know what? I heard that. I went, okay, that's fine, but you still got to stop them. Mm-hmm. You still have to go in there and stop them, make sure. But, this is some of those. Jimmy, you and I, we talk about mark the tape, or mark a certain win in a season that pretty much spearheads, the rest of your year.
Correct.
And I think sometimes you look at NAU, that's a huge victory.
It
for them.
is. That's monstrous.
I mean, that's a signature win for Chris Ball in his last few years here up north at NAU to go, wow, okay, now that team, Adam DeMonte's leading the charge at quarterback. He's a true freshman, by the way. And their defense is getting some things straightened out. They're getting healthy. They're coming back. Their running game has over 136 yards rushing. That helps. They get balanced. They throw for 260 yards. So all of a sudden, Aaron Pflugrad, the offensive coordinator, is going, wow, I got my guy at quarterback. I can do some things that maybe he couldn't do with the other quarterbacks they have there right now. So this is one of those, you stop and you look at the tape and you go, NAU beat 11th ranked Montana in that game this past weekend to spearhead or maybe jumpstart them for the rest of the year.
Let's quickly go to the Pac-12 because next year it won't exist. And right now they're having one of the best years ever in college football. The Associated Press top 25 is out. Washington at number 7, USC at number 8. It is Oregon at number 9, Utah at number 10. Manuch, they have 4 teams that are in the top 10.
And Washington State at 15.
Yep.
And Oregon State is at number 19. So they still have 6 teams, folks, in the top 25. But I'm like you, Jimmy. You see that and you go, okay, wait a second. That's 4 Pac-12 teams in the top 10. Again, I hope that they play it out and we see maybe 2 or 3 by the time the dust is settled in the top 10 by the time the year is over with the playoffs coming on. But again, it speaks volumes of the quality of football. And by the way, the Washington State head coach questioned a lot of why are they not getting more press and national press. Well, you moved up 5 spots.
They did.
So maybe that little rant after the game in his presser.
Maybe it helped.
And maybe it helped that they're now at 16. And don't forget about us up here in Pullman, Washington, folks. It's all about the USCs and UCLAs and Washingtons. And, rightfully so. But again, I think sometimes in that case, a coach has got to stand up for his team.
And he did.
Oregon, Washington, USC getting the attention as they deserve. But I'm still looking at Utah without Cam Rising as one of the most dangerous teams in the Pac-12 in the country. That defense against UCLA performed out of their mind.
They won the game 14-7, and one of the touchdowns was an interception that went for a pick.
That 1 minute.
And then UCLA had a couple opportunities.
They did.
The young kid at quarterback, the other true freshman.
Dante Moore.
Yeah, Dante Moore. Outstanding young man, but he got sacked a couple times. I think the moment caught up, the Utah defense caught up to him because they were blitzing him and bringing the house on several instances. But that's a great defensive victory. And I would say, yes, this offense misses Cam Rising, but they're not going to hurt him. They're not going to rush him back unless he's completely healthy with that knee injury.
They do play Oregon State on Friday Oregon State, so they might need him sooner than you think.
Yeah, that could be his coming out party. But again, I'm not going to put that young man in harm's way.
I'm with you
for one game.
Yep, I'm with you on that. Hey, tomorrow we're going to be at the Bio Queen in Gilbert. Thank you. I wanted to say Chandler in Gilbert. Thank you, Manuch. I would have gone to the wrong one. And it's always a great time when we go there. It is Taco Tuesday for the Barrio Queen, and it is also El Bandito Yankee Tequila Tuesday as well. So stop by, have some authentic Mexican food, and take a shot of El Bandito Tequila. We will be there from 1 until 4. All right, coming up, we're going to say hello to AB Channel 15's director, Craig Fooey. It's our Fact or Fooey segment. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910.
What's trending on Fox Sports 910 Phoenix?
The Diamondbacks weren't able to create separation in the NL wild card race with today's 6-4 loss to the Yankees. They slip into a tie with the Cubs now with a record of 82-74. The Coyotes had a busy weekend with 5 games over 3 days, including 2 in Australia against the Kings. Their next preseason contest will be Friday when they take on the Golden Knights. After getting the win over the Cowboys, Cardinals coach Jonathan Gannon says it's back to the drawing board for their Week 4 game with the 49ers. Cardinals scouts, meanwhile, attended ASU's game against USC Saturday. to get a look at potential top overall pick quarterback Caleb Williams. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeart Radio app.
Escape the scorching heat and get indoors at Putting World's 18-hole putting experience. Stay cool while mastering the greens and having a blast with family and friends. Visit Putting World today.
We're your neighbors. You should stop by for a visit. We're Casino Arizona. Come on in. Our slots are spinning, our dealers are dealing, and everyone's yelling bingo. Isn't it about time you see your friends again? So stop by to say hello. Stay a while. Relax. Enjoy yourself. We'd love to see you again. Hey, this place was made to entertain. We're your Casino, Arizona.
Join Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B Thursdays at one of the 5 Valley Twin Peaks locations.
We got Fooey.
Guys broadcast live from 1 to 5 Valley locations. And tune in at 2:45 for Peaks Picks, your chance to win a Twin Peaks man card. It's Guys Live every Thursday at Twin Peaks.
Get the one and done you want for your dog's monthly protection.
1 minute for Fact or Fooey.
Plus, a Foxalon or Moxidectin and Pyrantel chewable tablets. Protects against fleas, ticks, heartworm disease, roundworms, and hookworms. All in one delicious beef-flavored soft chew. Use with caution in dogs with a history of seizures or neurologic disorders. Dogs should be tested for existing heartworm infection prior to starting a preventive. Ask your vet about new NexGard Plus chews.
30 seconds till Fooey.
Gives guys a gentle and easy shave on there. And around there, and even under there. Don't treat your groin like junk. Respect it with Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. DraftKings has all kinds of ways to get in on the action, including same-game parlays, props, live betting, and so much more. Use code SPORTS when you sign up on the DraftKings Sportsbook app to check it out.
It's time for Fact or Fooey with ABC 15 Sports Director Craig Fooey. Fooey joins the guys each Monday to break down the top stories of the weekend. And as a reminder, Manuch writes the questions.
You guys are hot.
Now here's ABC 15's Craig Fooey.
Welcome back, everybody. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910. We're hanging out Casino, Arizona. Doubleheader tonight in the NFL. It is the Monday night tailgate party at the CAZ Sports Bar and Sports Book. We're going to give away cash. You might as well come out and have a great time. And that brings us then to a guy who has never turned down cash in his entire life. ABC Channel 15 Sports Director. It is indeed Craig Fooey. Fooey, how are you, pal? How we doing, Coach?
What is up, guys? That reminds me of a story when I was coaching at the University of Montana. I asked our offensive coordinator if I could borrow $10, and he looked me in the eye. He looked me in the eye and said, "No." I said, "Joe, come on, $10." He goes, "No." He goes, "I'll loan you." He said, "I'll loan you 100, but I'm not loaning you 10." He goes, "I'll forget about 10."
Were you sleeping in a back alley cot near the equipment in those days as well, too, Coach?
Heck yeah, man! You live wherever you could on those wages.
Hey, before we get going, I was watching the your post game show on Saturday night. I thought you were gonna have to get in between Colin and Mark May going at it there with their discrepancy. Colin throwing one of those superfluous takes out there, and your boy May. I don't know if he's gonna leave the set or what on Saturday night.
Hey, those guys get fired up now. I'm telling you what, that is a lot of fun on Saturday night. The good news is we all get along all day long and after the show, so that's the good news.
That's the best part right there. That's kind of
right.
like
That's
Manuch and I. We only get along on the show, and then we just dislike each other for the next 17 hours.
You know, it's like that locker room. Hey, Craig, it's like that locker room. You just got to get during game time.
Yep.
You cooperate.
That's it.
When we're off the air, I get him in a headlock, give him a little noogies. That's all.
All right, Factor Fooey, Coach. Here we go. Cardinals 28-16 over the boys was the best bounce-back game ever at State Farm Stadium after last week's embarrassing loss to the Giants. Fact or Fooey?
Fooey on that. Listen, they gave up the loss last week, obviously at home. But I'm just thrilled the fact that they got a win over a sleeping Cowboys team, right? That came into town,
sure,
and wasn't concerned about the Cardinals. So in terms of bounce back games, I don't know if I guess you could say that, right? Because they got embarrassed in the second half last week against the Giants. But for them to come out and play the way they did, it just shows that plan continues to work, right? Just come out and get better every day. It sounds like Kenny Dillingham here. I'm sounding like Dillingham. Gannon's saying the same thing. It's the process, right? It's not necessarily the wins and losses. It's the process you have to go through. It's the journey, right? And that's kind of what they're doing. So I'm pleased for them. I'm excited that they came out and played hard for 60 minutes.
And I will say this too, Coach. Yeah, they had a chance to win those first two games, but my thought process was as bad of an embarrassing loss because they came back was as good as a surprising win. That's where I put that out there as far as, actually on State Farm.
I'm with you on that. Yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah, listen, I'm with you on all that stuff. I have a tough one with the best and all this stuff because my memory just isn't that good anymore. So I'm in that age group now where it's like I can hardly remember last week. So it's a tough question.
Hey, trust me, I pass out the Prevagen around here with Rock and Jimmy. So if you're in the neighborhood, I'll pass out. Question number 2, little factor Fooey, ABC Sports Director Craig Fooey, joining us on the right trade against line. Joshua Dobbs' recent QB play will create some pause for concern as to how soon the Cardinals bring back Kyler Murray. Fact or Fooey?
Fooey on that. I don't think that's going to have any impact on Kyler Murray's return and what they're going to bring Kyler back as soon as they feel he's ready to go play. And I don't know that Josh Dobbs. I mean, listen, we've seen 3 sample sizes of Josh Dobbs, right? A game on the road against the Commanders, 2 at home, the Giants and the Cowboys. Josh Dobbs has been in the league. That's a small sample size. Josh Dobbs had 2 starts prior to his coming to the Cardinals, and that was with the Titans last year. They lost both of those games. He wasn't particularly impressive. He's been in the league 6 seasons, 7 teams. I just don't think we need to put the cart before the horse here quite yet, right? I think we just cool our jets. Let's see how Josh Dobbs plays things out here.
All right, Cardinals OC Drew Petzing finally has found the proper use of Rondell Moore out of the backfield and committing to get the ball downfield to target Hollywood Brown. Fact or Fooey?
Oh, boy, let's jump on that bandwagon. Yeah, how about that, huh? Listen, Drew Petzing is the greatest thing since sliced bread, right? I mean, Petzing is doing it all right, and he's got everybody in position to do the right things. And so, absolutely, for a guy that's a first-year offensive coordinator to come in and do what he's done now so far, James Conner carried the ball 14 times for 98 yards, Rondell Moore 3 times for 54 yards, and, of course, that 45-yard touchdown included there. Michael Wilson has been a bright spot on offense, right? 2 catches, 86 yards. Marquise Brown, Hollywood Brown, 5 catches, 61 yards, a touchdown. So, yeah, I like the fact that what they're doing. But listen, if you go back now to those first 2 games, there was times that this looked a lot like the Cliff Kingsbury offense. So I'm not ready to put the cart before the horse because we saw one size yesterday against the Cowboys team that obviously spent Saturday night out in Scottsdale partying.
All right, Coach. Question number 4. ASU head coach Kenny Dillingham and his staff had one of the best coaching nights in modern ASU football era against a 35-point favorite in USC. Fact or Fooey?
There you go against one of those recent history. My memory's not good.
Okay, fair enough. I
remember a team. I remember a team that beat a top-ranked Oregon team here a few years ago at home, right? Yeah. In a great football game on Saturday night, and that one still rings in my head because that was a darn good football game when nobody expected to beat the Ducks, and they came back and beat them. But having said that, I thought they did a great job. Undermanned, outmanned, and again, we talk about the Cowboys rolling into town and rolling off the bus expecting to win. I think USC did the same thing. They were coming off a bye week, the number 5 ranked team in the country, play the low Arizona State Sun Devils, who got shut out by Fresno State, and I think the Trojans were not on their A game Saturday night. That said, give all the credit to Cam Scadaboo because Scadaboo did everything for them. Rushed for 111 yards and a touchdown. Was 2 for 3 passing. He punted. He ran a fake punt. He caught 4 passes for 79 yards and a touchdown. Scadaboo is like this kid out of Sacramento State, right? Who people were like, is he going to make the jump from FCS to FBS? And he has. I mean, he's a tough nut. And I'll tell you what, that guy did everything for Kenny Dillingham Saturday night.
I got to tell you what, Coach, I thought if Pine doesn't underthrow that, I don't know if it was a go route or fade route and they get the pick.
Yes.
If he throws that deep, nobody catches it. I mean, that's a good thing. You move on. But I can tell you what, they were, I'm not going to say one throw away, but they were that close to tying that game up, I thought, in the fourth quarter.
But you know how those go, though. The better team always, the more physical, bigger, better team always wins out in the second half, right? That's just kind of the way you wear down. If you looked at Drew Pine at all in the fourth quarter, he looked like, Coach, take me out. Please.
Yeah, he was tired.
Beat up enough.
Yeah.
I don't think he had any oomph left in him, Manuch, to throw a deep ball. I mean, he was just getting beat up. He got sacked so many times. I mean, it was an ugly night in terms of his I'm sure he was sore, probably in the ice tub all day yesterday. It was a rough one for him.
Coach, did you count 45 administrators from the Arizona Cardinals at Sun Devil Stadium watching Caleb Williams? I stopped at 45. How many did you count?
There's only one that matters.
That's right. Yep. You're right about
There's
that.
only one that matters, but they were definitely on the USC sideline. And who knows how that all plays out, because the Texans got to win. Now the Cardinals got to win. They're screwing this thing up the way only can. Just keep losing and get that number 1 overall pick, and hopefully the number 2 as well. And then you can decide what to do. And then Caleb can decide if he wants to come to the Cardinals or go somewhere else.
All right, we're doing Factor Fooey with Craig Fooey, Channel 15 Sports Director. Diamondbacks question. They got beat today by the Yankees, 6-4. Half game in front in the wild card. Are they playing their best baseball at the right time of the year, and will they secure that wild card spot? Factor Fooey.
That was a lot of questions.
That was a question with a fact. I write them as factuals, and Jimmy just takes. See, that's the time. That's why I get him in a headlock, give him noogie sometimes.
That's why I do what I want to do.
Read the damn question, so it's a fact. You confused Fooey.
No,
Jimmy.
I did. He's a smart man.
The answer is fact.
Yeah.
Okay.
See?
Listen.
You
try to play in New York where it's rainy and nasty. It was 57 degrees or something back there, and just nasty weather for the last, all weekend. They got rained out on Saturday, got postponed to today. Yesterday was just they slogged through that one. I think my pitch last night was neither rain nor snow nor sleet or hail will stop the D-backs from playing a game in New York. I mean, it's just ugly weather, and they got to win back there, which is good news. Kevin Ginkel got beat up a little bit in the latter innings today, the late innings, but other than that, they're fine. They're in good shape. They will make the playoffs.
All right, I got one more for you before we let you
right.
run.
It's a question or a fact?
It's a combination. And this is trending now on Twitter worldwide.
2 minutes.
Taylor Swift in attendance at the Kansas City Chiefs game with Travis Kelce. On Twitter, it says that they have already broken up, and she is on her way to Arizona to hang out with Fooey. Is that a fact or Fooey?
Well, he's married, so I doubt it's probably a Fooey, Jimmy.
You know what? Over the years and all the traveling I've done with sports and being in different arenas and stuff, the TV station always calls me and says, hey, can you do this particular celebrity watch? Can you tell me if this person's at the game? Can you do a highlight on this person, this celebrity? We were so sick of the Taylor Swift stuff yesterday. It was like, and I just said this, didn't it seem like overacting by Taylor Swift to be so buddy-buddy with Kelsey, Mama Kelsey and all the friends in the suite? I mean, just like it was like, she's a performer, right?
Yep.
And it just looked like she knew the cameras were on her and she was going to perform to her utmost ability in front of those cameras. So that was my thing. It was like, really, this is what we're doing? We're suddenly the best. I mean, we're like in love and we're getting engaged soon, and I'm just buddy-buddy with Mama, and all the friends. It just seemed over the top to me.
Besides the Taylor Swift minute you have tonight, what else you tonight, Coach?
We got 2 Monday Night Football games, and one of them is on ABC exclusively. Eagles at Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We got a show coming out at 8:00 tonight. I got Mark May in, Colin Harmon's in, so we got some stuff. We're going to talk some Cardinals, some ASU, some D-backs. We got it all covered.
You're going to have to break out the good old in the ring segment with those two guys.
We do that on We do that Sunday nights. You missed it last night.
I missed it last night. I saw Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sunday I got home a little late and was preoccupied watching the replay of the Arizona Cardinals going, what is going on here? So,
right.
Coach, we appreciate it. Always great to catch up with you.
All right,
Thank
fellas.
you so much.
You got it.
Thanks
you got it. See ya.
Thanks for clarifying that Taylor Swift question, too. We appreciate you, pal.
Well, if you would know he's married, Jimmy, you probably wouldn't ask that
It doesn't matter.
question.
It was still a question. So, hey, we're hanging out here at the CAZ Sports Bar and Sportsbook at Casino, Arizona. Coach already referenced this. There are 2 games tonight. So you want to roll in here and have a lot of fun. It is the Monday night tailgate. Manuch and Jax are going to be here, and they are going to give away free money. That's right. You can win some cash, and it's all sponsored by the CAZ Sportsbook and Sports Bar. When we come back to Casino, Arizona, Kay Walsh is going to check in with us on how the sports books did over the weekend. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
This Claire Hurd.
The winner in this is also
Colin Cowherd.
Now you're doing it with Tua, who's small, has an injury history, good arm, not great, but he looks like a top 5 quarterback. And here's the thing about Tua. He dealt with so much crap his first 2 years in the NFL. It's as if the football gods just put a halo around this kid and said, let's give him a couple nice years.
This is the Herd. Tomorrow at 10. Listen to Fox Sports 910 anywhere on our free iHeartRadio app.
Tune in Mondays from 1 to 4 as Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B broadcasts live from the CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. The Sportsbook at the CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona is sports fans' paradise. That's the guys live every Monday from CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona.
It's Chevy truck season, and with a Chevy Silverado, there's no such thing as an uphill battle. With a Chevy Silverado, you can take on the mountains, or you can move them. Because with impressive towing capability, an available 13.4-inch diagonal touchscreen, and the choice of powerful engines to pick from, whatever you see your Valley Chevy dealers.
See your Valley Chevy dealers today during Chevy's truck season. Every truck has a story. Make yours a strong one. It's Chevy truck season. See your Valley Chevy dealers today.
I'm Byron Brown, the anti-lawyer lawyer. When it comes to your personal injury case, I'm straight to the point. I'll answer your call. No BS.
Did you know COVID-19 related ER visits are 3 times higher than the flu? Stay up to date with the latest COVID-19 vaccines, just like you do with the flu, because you've got no time for 19. The vaccine may not be for everyone. Please consult with your doctor. Brought to you by Moderna, proud sponsor of the iHeartRadio Music Festival.
All right, coming back in 30 with the Casey Walsh intro.
Check this out. With Boost Infinite, you get the latest iPhone every year and unlimited wireless for just $60 a month. Yeah, you get the new titanium iPhone 15 Pro that was just announced. Then again, next year, you get the latest iPhone every year. Boost Infinite, infinitely better. To learn more, pick up your phone, dial pound 250 and say Boost Infinite. That's pound 250 and say Boost Infinite. Terms apply. After 30 gigabytes, service may be slow. Receive a comparable iPhone model each year with acceptable trade-in every year. Requires credit qualification and 36-month phone financing agreement. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto-dial text message from iHeartMedia.
Time for the best bets, locks, and daily wager picks, courtesy of the CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. Now joining the guys is CAZ Sportsbook expert Casey Walsh.
From Boston.
Exclusively on Fox Sports 910.
You guys are hot.
Hey, everybody, welcome back in. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. We're hanging out, CAZ Sports Bar and Sportsbook Casino, Arizona. Quickly, football at 52 games tonight, and they are on ABC and also ESPN this evening. It's going to be a great scene here. You need to be here because it's our 23rd year of the Monday Night Tailgate, and the big jackpot is already at $425, and you can win free money just for watching the games tonight. Doubleheader. Eagles, Bucks, and the Rams and the Bengals. And with that, Casey is here from the CAZ Sportsbook. Good afternoon, pal. How's everything?
Everything's going good. How's it going with you
Everything's
guys?
good with us. So it was a riotous time this weekend, correct?
Oh, yeah. It was crazy this weekend, especially yesterday, Sunday, with the Cardinals game and everything with ASU on Saturday. So busy weekend here.
So did the book cash, or did the wagerers cash?
It was a good weekend for the sports books here at CAZ. I'll say that. We took tons and tons of Cowboy action, minus the 12.5. Everybody was on the under 44.5. Never mind that when the Cardinals got out to that lead, Cowboys went down to -1, minus a half a point. Everybody just kept betting Cowboys in game throughout the whole day, thinking the Cardinals would give it up like they did against the Giants.
And I know it all started off with the ASU USC game. I mean, for that one, you said you got to 34.5.
Yeah, that's what it ended up closing.
Where was the over under on that?
The over under was 62.5.
Okay. So where was most of the play?
So most of the play was on USC for the whole game.
Okay.
A majority of our money went there. A lot of people went under on the game as well, not thinking ASU would score anything. We did actually take quite a bit of action on ASU in the first quarter, plus 7.5. So that ended up cashing. But overall, everybody was on USC.
On USC.
And I saw was the Oregon, what game was it? Was plus 70. I'm trying to think. Was that the Oregon-Colorado game? It got
the over-under?
The over-under. Long story short, how did that end up when you saw the blowout early?
That a lot of people were on the over 70.5 in that game.
Okay.
We had everybody on Colorado, still the love affair with them. Everybody on the money line. So
it got another half point. 70 was the over. And it went another half point.
Yeah.
Was that Saturday before the game?
Yeah.
Wow.
Kept getting bet up. And everybody took it, during the day, just figuring everybody would score in that game. Had a lot of action, like I said, on Colorado. It'll be interesting this week to see if they still have the fanfare and the love for the team this week.
There you go. Yeah, I'm real curious because just before we came on the air, Casey was telling us about a situation that took place last night in the game between the Raiders and the Steelers. And just go ahead and explain it to our audience because it is pretty interesting.
Yeah, so last night, we were pretty heavily on people having the Raiders on the point spread, anywhere from minus 2.5 to minus 3.5. But we had all the money on under 39.5. So at the end of the game, when you have that 4th and 4, that field goal puts it at 41. The game goes over. So we have people in the sports book going absolutely crazy about how rigged it is.
Sure.
Which, to me, it was a crazy call anyways. If you don't get that 4th and 4,
right?
There's still 3 minutes left, a 2-minute warning, 3 timeouts, and they got to start at the 4. So
I can't believe that people got so upset that they were saying that the NFL was rigged.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we hear it all the time.
Oh, do you really? Wow.
I thought it was interesting when you looked at I'm trying to think the Chargers and Vikings game there, how rare it is for you to try to get a play called in and your quarterback and Kirk Cousins can't hear the play call from his coach. And quite simply, you get the first down. You should just go up and spike it. But he decided, well, okay, I'm just going to go ahead and just call the same play. But, it was interesting that at your home field there in Minnesota that they couldn't get it off. And I just wondered how much that affected the spread in reference to the Chargers and Vikings games. Matter of fact, I took the Vikings to win that game overall, and the Chargers went in and became the Chargers in the second half in that game.
Yeah, and the crazy part about that game, you want to talk about that one as well. When we go to the total in that game was 52.5.
Okay.
So same thing, it should have went way over, stays under. The pick at the end ices it. So anybody who had under wins that bet over, they get beat. But tons and tons of action on the Chargers.
I'm real curious before that when the Chargers went for it on 4th and 1 at their own 23-yard line.
Gosh.
What the hell is going on here? And what was the reaction like here in the book?
Oh, people were going mental because everybody had the Chargers minus, the 1.5, and then you go right there.
You know what? If they don't make that and they lose that game, I think Staley would have been gone today.
I think he would have been fired.
That was a point of contention all week long in reference to him going on these 4th downs. Low percentage 4th downs, and his low percentage of getting these 4th downs. And what the hell are you doing?
I have no idea. You punt it, make him go 85 yards.
I know you got Justin Herbert and you got Keenan Allen and blah, 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 and so on and so forth. But I got to tell you what, very fortunate. And it's so rare. It's almost like watching the Cardinals last week against the Giants to have your offensive guard jump twice in your home stadium. And they just converted this huge play. The Vikings, the crowd's going nuts. Got no timeouts left. You got to get them. You naturally get them, just clock the play.
Yeah.
But he's sitting over there trying to get the play. Suffice to say, the play that they would have called is the same exact play that Cousins had. So the quirkiness, I call this the what weekend. And I'm just wondering how skewed the book was in reference to some of the upsets. I mean, go figure. The Texans go into Jacksonville.
Oh, yeah.
And I think they beat the spread and win that game outright.
Yep. That game, and same with the Ravens Colts game.
Oh, sure.
Because of that. So you had everybody teasing those games down to a pick 'em.
Uh-huh.
So everybody lost those teaser bets.
And that kicker kicked, 4 field goals, a new record of over 50 yards or more.
Yes.
First time in NFL history.
Right. Quickly for tonight's action, Eagles Bucks. What's going on with that game first?
So far today, we've actually seen more action coming in on the Bucks plus the 5.5.
Okay.
Total on that, we're seeing a lot of overs, the 44.5.
So a lot of people think the Bucks and Baker Mayfield have a real shot here.
Yeah, tonight they're going with it.
Okay, and then the Rams at the Bengals. What are you doing? Because I've been checking, and so far there's no sign yet if Joe Burrow is going to start at quarterback for Cincy.
Yeah, so that game's really interesting because earlier on in the week it opened at 6 when they figured Burrow was going to play. Over the weekend it was down to -1.5, and now it's up to 3.5. So
is that because they're getting indications that Burrow may play tonight?
1 minute. 1 minute.
I would assume that's kind of what they're doing. They're moving it a little that way. They could also just be trying to offset the money, getting off that key number. That's why they're doing the 3.5 to avoid pushes there.
Over under 45 currently right now, too, for that game.
Yeah. Yeah. So we've seen pretty much, we had a lot of Bengals action on that and a lot of the overs on that as well.
Good stuff as always. Thank you, Case. It's always good to see you.
Absolutely.
All
Have a
right,
great
pal.
week.
Great stories. We always story out of him as well.
30.
Third hour's coming up. Former NFL QB and Sun Devil QB Rudy Carpenter is going to join us, and former Cardinals wide receiver Frank Sanders as well. We continue with hour number 3 right
15.
here, Casino, Arizona. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on Fox Sports 910.
Clear?
Hi, I'm attorney Kevin Rowe. Recently,
Before you guys head out, can I get a rejoin for
United States
for the next for hour 2?
country. Glenn and I both live here and raise our families here. We are your local law firm. No other law firm in the state comes close to the experience, reputation, and results as Lerner & Rowe. When you're hurt in a wreck and need a check, call the law firm that can get you the results you need. Call Lerner & Rowe.
Lerner & Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Football on Monday nights.
May I get
this
a
season live
a teaser
from the
for
Sportsbook
Howard?
in CAZ Sports Bar at Casino,
For
Arizona.
a teaser for
with
Frank?
Manuch, Jimmy B, and the rest of the Fox Sports 910 team. Win your share of the cash prizes through our progressive kickoff jackpot contest, quarters, squares, football bingo, and propositions contests. It's year 23. Doors open at 3. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B's Monday night tailgate party at Casino, Arizona.
The NFL is back, and your free iHeartRadio app is your home for the NFL Podcast Network with full coverage of all 32 NFL teams. Get in-depth analysis from the pros on around the NFL. Win bragging rights of this year's draft with tips from the NFL Fantasy Football Podcast and more. Download the free iHeartRadio app today.
Duke's Sports Grill on Miller and McDowell.
Dukes on Miller and McDowell.
Don't just drink at Duke's, play at Duke's.
Dukes on Miller and McDowell.
Pool, shuffleboard, darts.
You guys there?
Nights.
Dukes on Miller and McDowell.
3 huge patios on the Greenbelt, all doggy friendly.
Dukes on Miller and McDowell.
Named one of the New Times best bars in town.
Dukes on Miller and McDowell.
Daily food specials.
Dukes.
Can I get a teaser for Frank Sanders real quick?
Swear Dukes, Miller and McDowell. Scottsdale.
When you buy Kroger brand products, you feel like you're winning. That's because they offer proven quality at lower than low prices. In fact, we guarantee that you and your family will love how Kroger brand products taste, or you get your money back. So next time you're shopping for the family,
Whenever you are. Fantastic. Thank you.
The Parker & Sons Weather Center. For all your AC plumbing and electric needs, call Parker.
For tonight, look for mostly clear skies, temperatures dipping down into those mid-70s. And then as we head into Tuesday, pretty much a carbon copy of what we saw today with temperatures near 100.
All right, coming up in 30 CAZ top stories.
10 weather experts, I'm Ty Brennan.
This report is sponsored by Macy's Backstage. What will you find at Macy's Backstage? Here's a hint. Fall finds for $25 and under, like sharp blazers, cozy sweaters, cargo pants, jackets, and more. Find the latest trends and new arrivals at a Macy's Backstage store near you.
Time for the top local and national stories of the hour. Powered by the Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona. Bet big on your favorite teams and players in an environment that's as exciting as the game you're watching. There's no better place in the Valley to get in on the action. The Sportsbook at CAZ
You guys are hot.
Sports Bar. Now, guys, what's your top story this hour?
Well, just like the big voice guy said, we're hanging out in the CAZ Sportsbook and Sports Bar. It's at Casino, Arizona, and it is Monday night tailgate. It will begin as soon as we get off the air at 4 o'clock. We got cash to give away, and the big jackpot is already up to $425. It doesn't cost you a thing to show up and enjoy the action. And if you want to do some wagering, they have 6 self-service betting kiosks, and also the windows are open as well with real humans there to help you place your wagers. Manuch, we got 2 games tonight. Let's start first with Tampa Bay hosting Philadelphia. And right now, everybody is on the Baker Mayfield bandwagon at 2-0.
Yeah, but the Eagles are favored by 5.5.
They are.
From that standpoint. And I think the curiosity for a lot of folks, at least for me, is this bandwagon to be able to carry all the fans jumping on it? And can Baker Mayfield pretty much carry this bandwagon around the corner and see if this is for real at 2-0? Eagles, at times, haven't really looked as sharp as you thought they would.
Okay.
But still the Eagles. And I took the Eagles to win this game. And even though it's in Tampa Bay, Jalen Hurts, this offensive line, this front four on defense, I feel they put a lot of pressure that Baker Mayfield has not seen yet up to date after 2 games. But I think it'll be a good game. The over-under on this is 44. I would. It's tough because how well they played. I might take the under on this game in reference to that. So I think that in reference to after the 3rd game of the season, the Eagles will start to feel it a little bit and get after it. And I think that the Eagles, not that they win this game going away, Jimmy. I think that they win this game, but I think it'll be, I'd rather take the under 5.5 as well as the Buccaneers are playing is still, I think, a lot for this game.
Yeah, and then on the outside, me being a receiver myself, seeing Mike Evans against Darius Slay, I think it's going to be a great matchup.
Yep.
Mike Evans in a year where do they extend him or not? Is his contract year? I mean, he's got 12 catches, 237 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So he's been playing well, but also the defensive line, like you mentioned, Manuch, against this kind of banged up offensive line. We'll see how they hold up against this Eagles defensive line that's one of the best.
It's interesting. You watch Evans play. He knows that he's playing for a contract.
Yeah, he is.
He's getting a little long in the tooth. But, man, he has been go-to for Baker Mayfield.
He's been absolutely sensational.
And if he can stay healthy, I mean, they'll have a shot at winning this game. To your point, Jax, I think that this Eagles team is kind of like, okay, we need to start kicking this thing in gear. Not that they're having any kind of a Super Bowl hangover from, even though they lost the game, they had a hell of a game. But I just think that at this point, we're going to see either how good this Eagles team that can contend, who I feel should win the NFC East, and then if, like Tampa Bay, I always say, are they live or are they Memorex? Are they pretenders or are they contenders? This will be their great litmus test, this game tonight.
The other game is going to be interesting as well. And, Jax, do me a favor and check NFL Network. Watching one of the screens, and I can't really see it, I believe they are indicating that Joe Burrow is indeed going to try to play tonight.
Yeah, there's been no word on that yet.
Okay.
Zach Taylor probably won't release that until right at game time, just for a standpoint of competitiveness. Manucci, that too, and then the uncertainty of his injury.
Well, what he's got to do, guys, is he's got to go through, I think, warm-ups. He's got to go, and they want him to go through 100%.
Right. Yep.
Don't hold back. I'm sure that he's got the calf sleeve on. He's had all the stretching. He's had all the treatment. I think the fortunate thing, guys, is that he's had an extra day or 2 of of treatment.
Having Monday night game.
Yeah, and I think he's probably was getting treatment as well all day today since the game is a home game there at the facility. But I just think they're going to say, hey, look, stretch it out really good. Let's warm it up. Let's heat it up. Let's kind of ease into it. But we need you to go through warm-ups at 100%. I should say warm-ups. You need to go through an hour before the game, before warm-ups at 100%, to see if you can drop back on it, if you can push off of it, if you've got to move a little bit right or left, escapability, how that feels, and it doesn't do another ping on him. You're like you feel like a little ping.
Yes.
It might be that calf again.
Okay.
So I think that this will be definitely that I think they'll know when they go back in the locker room after warm-ups whether he's going to start or not.
So then if he doesn't play, Jake Browning looks like to be the starter there. He's been there for a while from Washington. We mentioned Washington earlier in the program, but you would figure, Manuch, that they would go towards the running game mostly if Burrow's out.
Hello, Joe Mixon.
Yeah, I think that's going to be heavily looked at from that particular standpoint. I think with Taylor, as far as his play calling is concerned, is going to have to be the long and short of it. I thought it was so interesting that you look at a lot of the quarterbacks allegedly that were contacted from all the sources out there by the Cincinnati Bengals. Matt Ryan not coming out of the booth anytime soon.
That's what he said, yeah.
You looked at several other quarterbacks. I think my name escapes me now.
I think they signed A.J. McCarron, too.
They did sign McCarron, but they talked to several veteran quarterbacks that were out there that pretty much said, no, not interested. And people say, why wouldn't they play? Well, they may not be in shape, number one. They may not be in game shape, number two. And for a lot of guys, if they're done, they're done. In Matt Ryan's case, I really feel that this year he'll have a couple opportunities to come out of the booth. And if he's had that discussion with his wife and his family that he's hung his cleats up and he's bronzed them, he's not going to unbronze those bad boys. He is done. He is done and moving on. But to your point, they've got enough weapons. You talk about Mixon, Travion Williams, the running back situation.
Yep.
You got Chase at receiver. You got T. Higgins. You've got enough weapons for whomever. It's just a matter of the play calling and how you go about play calling if Joe Burrow is not in this game.
But the Rams have surprised everybody. They opened the season by winning on the road at Seattle. Even though they lost their next game, they were in that game the whole way. I just think that the Rams are not going to be an easy out here tonight.
Well, I think you've got a healthy Matthew Stafford, number one.
Yep.
And again, if he gets dinged up, that's another scenario. There was an article this Saturday talking about backup quarterbacks and how valuable this weekend they are, and just how thin a lot of these teams are, having an experienced quarterback that can pretty much come in and get the team moving as far as fluidity and making sure they know where they're going. And I think that those are some of the things that Sean McVay is going to be very leery of, or understanding that what they're going to have to do. And I think with this Rams team, Stafford's a guy. You have their outstanding receivers.
Cooper Kupp is
Puka Nacua.
Yep.
How do you say his last name?
Puka Nacua. Fifth rounder out of BYU.
Yeah.
Good sized kid. Rely on him. Rely on your tight ends, no matter who your tight end is. And I think that those are some of the things that he's going to have to take a good look at. The guy I want to get back at with that the Jets wanted to grab off of the Rams depth chart, Britt Rippon.
Yes.
And they said no, they blocked it because they also brought Stetson Bennett, who's out.
He's out.
So that's pretty much it. They may have somebody else on the inactive that they might activate depending on what other needs that they have. But, your guy, your Cooper Kupp, your boy out of Eastern Washington, he's out. So for Sean McVay, how creative are you going to get against this pretty good defense, if you will, pretty good staunch defense that you're going to have to face tonight in Cincinnati?
Let's quickly run around to a couple of things that took place yesterday in the NFL. A 70 burger by Miami on the Denver Broncos. Hey, do some research for me. I think the Chicago Bears at one time won a game 73-0. Now, this was way before even I was born.
I think it was 1947.
You think that was
1940?
1940, 73-0.
Was against the Chicago Cardinals?
No, it was against the Washington Redskins.
Yes.
1940 NFL championship game.
Yeah,
Jimmy broadcasted it, of course. That one doesn't get old.
Yeah, I know. 70 to nothing.
70 to nothing.
73 to nothing.
Wow, that's a lot of points. You know what? I wonder, guys. This is just I saw this and made me ponder. That with Sean McVay pretty much throwing the old regime, the old staff of the Denver Broncos under the bus. That there's a lot of coaches out there, National Football League, for looking at Nathaniel Hackett and maybe going, look, it's the Denver Broncos. It is, we got coach out there and he's popping off about this and popping off about that. Maybe we give Sean, we give Coach, we'll give him a little bit of his own taste of his own medicine. We'll throw some Sean Payton medicine at you and run the bad boy up.
Boy, they did.
And not think twice about it.
They did.
And everybody goes, well, the next time if they ever play the Miami Dolphins, the Denver Broncos, we're going to come after you. They don't think that way.
No.
And they were running touchdowns on top of it. They weren't throwing the ball, except for that 3rd down and 1 to the tight end. But they're running the ball and 5 touchdowns running, and you look at the 5 throwing. So it's not as if they told their guys to go down. But I wonder if there's a little rub
3 minutes
against Sean Payton doing that with that former staff at Denver. And then some of the other coaches going, can't do that to our fraternity, man.
You always wonder how back when it was RG3's rookie year, that Jay Gruden's staff with Mike McDaniel, Kyle Shanahan, and Matt LaFleur, like just to see where they were at that era. Now they're one of the 3 top coaches, offensive minds in the game of football. It's kind of crazy to see the transition, the evolution of Mike McDaniel, and using ways of Tyreek Hill in the running back position, in the slot, outside. 70 points.
It was like a video game. It really was.
Mike McDaniel is super underrated. He's definitely coach of the year right now.
This offense reminds me of the greatest show on turf.
Okay,
the Rams.
Back to the Rams and Kurt Warner.
I mean, with Kurt Warner, guys aren't just open, Jacks. They are wide ass open. There's nobody within 10 yards of some of these guys. And I'm like, damn. So you look at the concepts. You see the man-to-man. You see Tyreek Hill. A guy has the angle on him. He gets around the corner and still outruns him to the end zone. So speed kills. But, I mean, you look at the running game, the passing game. Tua, how accurate he is. He's got time to throw the ball down the field.
That's the difference.
0 sacks, too.
0 sacks. And I think if you're a Miami Dolphin fan, you just got to hope that Tua doesn't get banged or nicked or dinged or concussed this year. But, I mean, it's just kind of the way guys are open, how fast they play, how successful they are. And, oh, by the way, there was a Hall of Famer named Marshall Faulk as a running back.
I remember him.
On that greatest show on turf, that they have a running game along with their passing game. And Jax, you bring it up. The great offensive line. And they got this defense that they've built the last couple of years that is shutting down people.
Well, they have a date with the Buffalo Bills coming up. That is going to be the game of the weekend, to see how those two teams. I wonder, we'll have to ask Casey if the over-under is going to be like 85 for that. Jack's investigating to see if we have an over on that.
I forgot to ask. I know the Oregon State-Washington State game. We talked about that Friday. I think the over-under on that as well was about 70.
70s, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, to see 70.5 for the couple of games that we talked about, that's amazing to me.
I know.
I mean, that's a lot of points. Numbers, that's a lot of points to be scored.
What'd you find?
53.5.
53.5 in an NFL game. The Bills and the Dolphins. And the Bills played lights out against the Commanders and made them look pedestrian. And then we all know
they schooled them.
They did. And then a 70 burger. So we know what the Dolphins can do.
I'm going to say the first one to 48 wins that game. Bills and Dolphins.
Hey, everybody. Tomorrow, we're going to be hanging out at the Barrio Queen in Gilbert. It's Taco Tuesday. Also, El Bandito Yankee Tequila Tuesday as well. Come on out. Have some incredible, authentic Mexican food. And, of course, El Bandito Yankee Tequila will be in Gilbert tomorrow from 1 until 4. Well, the Sun Devils took the Trojans of USC almost to the finish line, came up just a little short, and the Cardinals pull off a major upset over the Dallas Cowboys. Rudy Carpenter is coming up next to analyze it all, right on Fox Sports 910.
Clear. Traffic from the Valley Toyota Dealers Traffic Center.
There is an accident at I-10 westbound near 16th Street. It's on the on-ramp off right. Also a crash that's sitting off right, 17 southbound near Camelback, and an accident Litchfield at Van Buren Street.
This report is sponsored by Discover. Discover credit cards do something pretty awesome. At the end of your first year, they automatically double all the cash back you've earned. That's right, everything you earned doubled. The cash back from trips, restaurants, all doubled. Seriously, though, see terms and check it out for yourself at discover.com/match.
Arizona's headquarters for Toyotas is Wright Toyota. Hey, Rockford, my friends at Wright Toyota in Scottsdale. You will always find the right deal at Wright Toyota. Wright Toyota has been driving Arizona's home for years with their amazing service, pricing, and great selections. I encourage you to discover the difference at Wright Toyota. Make the right choice, Wright Toyota, just off the 101 on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard, and always online at WrightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection. Check out WrightToyota.com.
Whether it's beer and wings with the guys or a steak or ribs with that special someone, Tavern Grill Scottsdale is a casual sports bar and grill with something for everyone. Visit us today at 8880 East Via Linda, Tavern Grill in Scottsdale.
Are you looking for a change in your career path or just looking to get back into the employment market again? Look no further. Current openings are in the areas of customer service, tow truck operators, yard management, facilities maintenance, and dispatch. If you're looking for a challenging yet rewarding opportunity, a great benefits program including 401k program with a generous company match, and a company that is a leader in the industry, apply online at allcitytowing.com/careers or call All City's HR department at 480-833-7278. All City Towing is Arizona's largest towing transport vehicle storage provider. Locally owned and invested within the communities they service. If you enjoy helping others by providing great customer service, working as a team, and possess great communication skills, All City is for you. Apply online at allcitytowing.com/careers or call 480-833-7278. That's allcitytowing.com.
Hey, it's Gross. Join me, Bauer, and Jackson every Saturday from 11 to 1 live from the Sportsbook at the CAZ Sports Bar at Casino, Arizona for Take the Points. Powered by the Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar.
The new iPhone 15 Pro with titanium is here. Switch to my plan from Verizon at your local store today, and you'll get the amazing new iPhone 15 Pro on us with unlimited ultimate when you trade in any iPhone, any model, any condition. Guaranteed. Yep, even the old phone in your pocket right now. It's your Verizon. $999.99, 128 gigabyte only. Device payment purchase or full retail purchase with new smartphone line on unlimited ultimate plan required. Less $1,000 trade-in or promo credit applied over 36 months. Promo credit ends if eligibility requirements are no longer met. 0% APR.
The Diamondbacks couldn't protect a one-run lead against the Yankees, allowing 3 in the 8th and losing 6-4 today. The Coyotes had a busy weekend, 5 games spread out over 3 days that included 2 in Australia against the Kings. Next up, the Golden Knights on Friday. The Raiders' Jimmy Garoppolo entered concussion protocol following yesterday's game, putting his status for this week against the Chargers in question. Brian Hoyer and rookie Aiden O'Connell are the other QBs on the roster. I'm Frank Garrity.
This is Tim Mobley. This is what's trending from iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by DraftKings Sportsbook.
DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. DraftKings has all kinds of ways to get in on the action, including same-game parlays, props, live betting, and so much more. Use code SPORTS when you sign up on the DraftKings Sportsbook app to check it out.
Here to talk football is former Sun Devil quarterback, who, by the way, went 3-1 against that team in Tucson.
Carpenter going to go up with time, steps up, looks end zone, got a man, McGahey, touchdown! Rudy Carpenter threw that right into the teeth, into the strength of the Wildcat defense.
Rudy Carpenter, now on Roc and Manuch on Fox Sports 910 on FM at 99.9 HD2.
I feel really good. As I said, coming here on obviously short notice, we all talk about the situation, right? And then not playing much in the preseason in Cleveland. So to come here and quickly get adjusted to a new team, similar terminology, but new people, get on the rhythm and timing. It's been great to make that adjustment and been great to show that growth. I feel more comfortable each and every day. I know the team does as well.
That is Joshua Dobbs, the Cards QB, after the game and the big victory over the Dallas Cowboys. Former NFL quarterback, former Sun Devil QB, Rudy Carpenter joins us right now. You can follow him at Rudy G Carp 12 on Twitter or X. Rudy, it's Jimmy B and Manuch along with Jax. Welcome, Rudy, as always. Let me pick your brain right from the get-go then. Joshua Dobbs, how good did he play in yesterday's game, in your estimation, as the starting quarterback of the Cards?
I thought he played really well, to be honest with you. He protected the football, did a good job finding completions, putting the ball in play, letting his guys work, and then obviously he did a really good job himself in the run game. And like you heard him say, considering all of the situations and circumstances that he's been through, I thought he did a really, really nice job yesterday, especially against what everybody thought was supposed to be a really, really good defense.
And I thought he got a little scat in him there a little bit too, that little bootleg naked boot coming around that side of Micah Parsons. And Rudy, I always think that when you do that early on in a game and you do a handoff prior to, and then you come right back to, you must see something on tape that they see Parsons doing. But I thought that was kind of like, okay, we're here to let it rip. And I was surprised he got a little more speed than I thought he did.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times when you run the outside zone one way, if you see the backside defensive end or outside linebacker on the line of scrimmage crashing down really hard and making a tackle on the backside of that run play, that's when a lot of times the coaches will call the naked bootleg out the other way. I don't know, if that's what they saw. Obviously, I'm not watching the game film, but typically, that's how it works. And Josh did a good job with the fake and a good job with the run. I think the other thing he did a good job with the run was finishing, right? He could have stepped out of bounds a couple times and maybe not taking a hit, but he did a good job of maximizing all of the yards he could get. And for a guy who's in his position and trying to earn the respect of his coaches and teammates and organization, I thought that was obviously a really big play in the game.
Yeah, I thought 222 yards rushing, 182 in that first half. I think kind of set everything up, but I really felt that Drew Petzing, the way he utilized Rondale Moore, finally, coming out of the backfield on a few, I call a few slip screens, and then for Hollywood Brown getting the ball to him. I thought this was more of a balanced attack, and maybe a lot of that is because he's comfortable with Joshua Dobbs at quarterback, being able to make those throws or make the reads that he wants him to.
Yeah, I think all that is true, but at the end of the day, I think the most true thing is that anytime you get the run game going, it really, really helps. You watch the Dolphins play, and when they get the run game going, they're able to throw the ball all over the yard because they're able to create single safety defensive schemes. You watch the Kansas City Chiefs, and when they get the run game going, they're able to throw the ball all over the yard because it sets up their play action pass. And again, they're throwing against single high safety. And so I think for the Arizona Cardinals, it's the same. You get the run game going, you force them to bring more guys down into the box to play the run. And when you do that, you're obviously softer in the back end with your coverage. You have less guys in coverage, and it makes it easier to attack downfield for explosive plays. And when you talk about turnovers being a differentiator in a game, they are. When you talk about special teams plays and special teams touchdowns being difference makers in games, they are. But explosive plays are also a really big, difference maker in a game. And the Cardinals finally had some of those explosive plays this week that really can determine the outcome of the game.
Rudy, I want to get your thoughts before we move on to the Sun Devils about Dak Prescott. And I'm sorry, I'm not seeing the mental growth for this young man and coming from behind the pick in the playoff game against San Fran, that pick in the end zone late in the game. I hate to say this, but he's a very good front-running quarterback. I'm just not seeing the growth in him moving forward when he's got to lead a team down the field and blatantly, I don't know, just not see what's in front of him at times. That's just my opinion. I just want to get your thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, it's really tough. When they started out 2-0 and they were playing well, everybody loved Dak Prescott. And I think that's also, part of the problem about being the starting quarterback in Dallas is you're always in primetime situations. You're going to get a lot of scrutiny, and I'm sure that's something that he's used to, and that is what it is. You're always judged based on wins and losses as an NFL quarterback, and I think the scrutiny is extra large in Dallas, and so that's just part of it. But yeah, I mean, he threw a lot of interceptions last year, even though he missed some games. I think he still led the league in interceptions, so you can't do that. And then on top of that, it's like every time you think Dak has turned the corner, and every time you think he might be the player that everyone thinks he he's going to be, or maybe showed to be at some point in time, then all of a sudden he has a blunder like this. And I think it's a little sucky for him, because people look at the Arizona Cardinals and think they're tanking and that they're playing for the first pick and they're just an awful team. And look, they're 1-2. But at the end of the day, this is a team that, really could be 3-0 very easily. And they're playing hard for their head coach and their GM. And so I think, you really got to respect that.
I'm with you on that. And I think the Bears, there's no question they are the worst team in the National Football League by a long way. Chicago is. All right, let's move now to the college game and what we witnessed with Arizona State and also with USC. I'm telling you right now, and I know we're not odds makers, but we do discuss lines. And when it came out at over 30 points, I think a lot of people thought that ASU was just going to get destroyed. So my question to you is, Rudy, as a quarterback, what did you see from Pine that was so different in that game against USC that wasn't there when he entered the game against Fresno State?
Well, I thought they were going to get destroyed too. I wasn't confident enough to put any money on it and bet on it. But look, I don't. It's really hard to say, because the offense, they still gave up a lot of sacks and they still turned the ball over. I think he probably has some comfortability playing against USC because he's played against them before and had success, and he's not scared. But I also think probably the play calling of Kenny Dillingham probably mattered, right? Like I think Kenny took over the play calling, and I'm not bashing Bo Baldwin or anybody else, but I think Kenny just has a better feel for how he wants this offense to run and how he wants this offense to be called and how he wants it to be executed. And with him calling plays, I think it's probably a little bit better for this team.
Really, I mentioned that a little bit earlier, the creativity, the motion. You're having Scatterbo pretty much, at a Wildcat doing his thing, throwing a couple of passes in reference to that, 2 for 3 passes to be exact. But you're right. I saw a little more creativity, a little more off-balance defense. And, he's called plays against this USC team when he was at Oregon. But I just thought a little more set, a little more maybe continuity with the offense in Friday and Saturday night's game.
Yeah, I think that could be true. I mean, also, Drew Pine being in this offense longer and having a better understanding of how it's supposed to execute and what he's supposed to do, I think that probably helps too, right? I think all of it matters. It'll be interesting to see, what these guys do the rest of the year. I feel bad for Kenny and ASU in the sense they just have so many injuries, and they especially have them up front. It just makes it so difficult to call plays.
Rudy Carpenter is our guest on the Right Toyota guest line. One final question then. So even though they did not win the game in college football, is the coach telling his team, look, you can play with the big boys even though they lost? Is it an emotional mind win for ASU or not?
Look, here's the unfortunate thing. Look, when I used to sit in these meeting rooms and coaches would come in and give like some victory, or some speech about moral victories, I used to just shake my head and be like, I'm just someone that doesn't believe in moral victories. It's so ridiculous. You're just making yourself and your coaching staff feel better about the terrible job that everybody is doing. So that is what it is. And then all of a sudden I started coaching football teams, and I found myself doing that every time that we lost. And I was like, man, I can't believe I'm into moral victories now. So look, at the end of the day, I mean, every team is different. Every season is different. And I think Kenny probably feels like, man, we are at a major disadvantage regarding our personnel, regarding the situation that we got put in with the NCAA issues, et cetera, et cetera. And I think he's just trying, and then they have the injuries. I think he's just trying everything he can to keep this team, fighting, and to keep this team, fighting on his behalf and playing hard. And he's trying to put something on tape that everybody can be proud of, even if they're losing games. And I think, even though they lost this USC game, I think there's probably a lot that coaching staff can find that they can be happy and proud of. But at the end of the day, I mean, you're still losing. and that's no fun.
Rudy, thank you as always, pal. You have a great day. Enjoy it.
All right, guys, take care.
There you go, Rudy Carpenter, former NFL Sun Devil QB. His breakdown of the Cardinals' upset over the Dallas Cowboys, and also ASU coming a bit short against powerhouse USC. He's all presented by All City Towing, and they continue to grow. They've got a brand new fleet of trucks, and they are hiring. That's correct. They have immediate full-time positions available. They have terrific benefits, which include medical, dental, disability, employee assistance programs. And by the way, if you like free money, yes, they also have a 401k program with a 50% match option. It's all available. All you have to do is just go to allcitytowing.com and search careers. Once again, that's allcitytowing.com and search careers. You're looking for a new job, a job that pays well, and an employer that appreciates their employees. It's allcitytowing.com and search careers. All right, everybody, coming up, former Cardinal wide receiver Frank Sanders is going to be here to explain what in the wide world of sport happened to the Cardinals in beating the Cowboys. It's all next. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910.
Behold, here's what's trending on Fox Sports 910 Phoenix.
The Diamondbacks weren't able to create separation in the NL wildcard race with a 6-4 loss to the Yankees. They're tied with the Cubs now for the final two postseason berths at 82 and 74. The Coyotes with a busy weekend, 5 games over 3 days, and included 2 in Australia against the Kings, their next preseason game Friday against the Golden Knights. After notching the upset win over the Cowboys, Cardinals coach Jonathan Gannon says it's back to the drawing board for their Week 4 game against the 49ers. And just over a week remains until the Suns convene for training camp, their first preseason game October 8th against the Pistons. I'm Frank Arity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
This is the My Guy Referrals Weather Center. Visit myguy.com for 5-star local referrals. Make My Guy your guy.
For tonight, look for mostly clear skies, temperatures dipping down into those mid-70s. And then as we head into Tuesday, pretty much a carbon copy of what we saw today. With temperatures
Grabbing him now.
103 degrees with plenty of sun. For the Fox 10 weather experts, I'm Ty Brennan.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. Shopping for new blinds? At Blindster, we offer over 50 different blinds, shades, and shutters at low prices, custom made for your windows, and shipping is free. Shop at home and order 10 free samples of any product before you buy. Blindster.com.
Hey, sports fans, celebrate every big game with El Bandito Yankee, an ultra-premium tequila made from 100% Blue Weber agave in the highlands of Jalisco. Their certified additive-free Blanco and Reposado features a unique oxygenation process for a rich smoothness without that tequila burn. It's why they won platinum and gold medals and are now listed as one of the world's top tequilas by Rolling Stone. Head over to your local store, favorite bar, or restaurant in all 7 Barrio Queen locations. Go to elbanditoyankee.com and break out the Bandito with the official tequila of game day.
Any car dealer in Arizona can compete on price. That's what dealers do. But not many dealers can compete on customer satisfaction. Like Wright Toyota. Make the right choice. Wright Toyota in Scottsdale, just off the 101 on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard, and online at wrighttoyota.com.
Need to upgrade that big screen TV with a new 4K 65-incher? Fox Sports 910's Roc and Manuch and Jimmy B, along with Twin Peaks, Blue Moon, and Coors Light are giving away 5 smart TVs, one for each of the 5 Twin Peaks locations. Text PEAKS to 59925. Standard message and data rates apply. Enter daily. That's PEAKS to 59925. Twin Peaks, your football headquarters.
Hey, this is Kelly Cooper. Are you ready for the ultimate sports experience? Look no further than BKD's Backyard Joint. At BKD's, we're the destination for the best food, drinks, and sports experience in the Valley. Located at the corner of Pecos and McQueen and Chandler, BKD's Backyard Joint, where every day is game day.
Sun Devil. All right, we got Frank Sanders.
Compton America Stadium to take on the Coach Prime-led Colorado Buffaloes Saturday, October 7th for ASU's Hall of Fame game. An incredible class of Sun Devil legends will be honored at halftime for their induction into the Sun Devil Athletics Hall of Fame, including Phoenix area product and NFL veteran Sean McDonald. Get your ASU Colorado tickets today by calling 480-727-0000 or go online to sundeviltickets.com.
Heart failure, carpal tunnel syndrome,
Shortness of breath? Stomach issues? Lower back pain? How does it all add up? If you have heart failure and any of those seemingly unrelated symptoms sound familiar, it's time to talk with your cardiologist and get the full picture. It may add up to transthyretin amyloid cardiomyopathy. ATTR-CM is a rare and underdiagnosed disease. Recognize the signs and discuss them with your doctor soon. Learn more at connectwithyourheart.com. That's connectwithyourheart.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Gillette Intimate gives guys a gentle and easy shave on there, and around there, and even under there. Don't treat your groin like junk.
All right, coming up in 30 with Frank Sanders Open with the
Buy now at a retailer
with the
near
Brown.
I'm Byron Brown, the
Brown clip.
anti-lawyer lawyer. When it comes to your personal injury case, I'm straight to the point. I'll answer your call. No BS.
DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. DraftKings has all kinds of ways to get in on the action, including same-game parlays, props, live betting, and so much more. Use code SPORTS when you sign up on the DraftKings Sportsbook app to check it out.
He played 8 seasons with the Arizona Cardinals. The Sandman.
It is caught. Touchdown Auburn. Sanders caught it. Touchdown Auburn. Touchdown Auburn.
Frank Sanders joins Calling All Sports with Roc and Manuch, now on Fox Sports 910.
Hey, everybody, welcome back in. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
Third down and goal. Fake to Connor. Dobbs retreats and floats for the end zone.
Sorry about that.
It's a touchdown.
You guys are hot.
All right, everybody, welcome back in. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910. Hanging out here, Casino, Arizona, CAZ Sportsbook and Sports Bar. And it is with pleasure that we introduce Frank Sanders, former Cardinal wide receiver, who had been on this show the past 2 weeks saying that the Cardinals are going to win 10 games. And so after yesterday's upset victory, Frank, are they going to win more than 10 games? That's what I want to know after what you saw.
Let's just pump the brakes here a little bit.
I'm giving them a chance here.
Hey, Jimmy B. Hey, Manuch, man. I know, look, I'm not changing. I'll stay at 10 right now. 10 was pretty safe for me to go about it, but I have a reason why I can go about that. I think that it was on display this past Sunday versus the Cowboys, and I've been saying this for the last couple of weeks, which is I said, I'm not trusting necessarily everything that I had seen about the players, new players coming in and all the other stuff. I say what I'm trusting is the fact that I'm looking at what I saw in the preseason. That's Drew Pretzing as the OC, the way he called plays when he had Clayton Tune as a quarterback and Nick Rallis, how he called plays as a defensive coordinator, and the way he put guys in position and the way they finished games in the fourth quarter as these guys coach these players all the way through the end of the clock in the preseason. And that is the reason why I came up with 10 games. And when you watched them yesterday, those guys did some stuff coaching-wise that continually allow guys to make plays. They put guys in good position, offense and defense. And I think that's just a good formula and a good sign to see that the Cardinals are heading in the right direction.
Well, a couple of those guys I think were long overdue, LONNNG, overdue, was Hollywood Brown and Rondale Moore. To see Rondale Moore come out of the backfield and utilized. And then at times, Frank, you very animated Hollywood Brown on the sideline about, look, you could kind of read his lips and say, hey, look, I'm open. I mean, I've got that guy. And they got the ball to him. And that nice little touchdown pass at the end of the game, the little 2-yard flipper, sidearm flipper, to go down and get the ball. So I think I see the utilization when you talk about Drew Petzing. The offensive coordinator gets it, understands it, that if you got playmakers, use them.
I 100% agree with you, man. Look, this team doesn't lack talent. I mean, we got to look at the fact that I said this earlier, that I think Monty has done a wonderful job of going out to get a bunch of players from different places that have been on winning teams or places that just they've created a good atmosphere of guys that they know how to win. They brought guys into the fold, and you just look at Kazera White, man, just a true leader on the defensive side of the ball. Offensively, you can't ask for a better position than what you're watching, how coaches moving players and putting guys in place. We've seen the A set, and that's 2 tight ends and 1 back, more than we've seen in 3 games, and we've seen all 4 years through the Arizona Cardinals. J.C. Rush for almost 200 yards in 2 back-to-back games. We hadn't seen him do that any time in the timeline. And that's to my recollection, Manuch, and his timeline here with the Cardinals were under Cliff's offense. They're doing stuff, and they're putting guys in play. They're giving guys an opportunity to make plays. And I'm glad to see what's taking place offensively as well as defensively, based upon where they're calling the plays. They're changing things up. They're moving guys around. They're motioning people in the right spot. And you got to give your guys the best opportunity to make plays, to use their gifts and talents. And we're watching that.
Frank, I'm real curious then, if that's what the offense was doing, what was the defense doing? Because it appeared that they had Dak Prescott, the Cowboys QB, on his heels most of that game. What did you see?
You know what I like? I want to say this first. The first couple of plays, I know everybody that watched that game was like, what the heck is our defensive line doing? Those guys literally stood up the first couple of series of plays. They walked around. They didn't line up in just a base 4 defense and just a 4-3 defense and put their hands in the ground. Guys were standing up, walking around, trying to confuse Dak, confusing the offensive line on what was taking place. It wasn't just the status quo, because that's what happens when you face a good coordinator, and Mike McCarthy as well as Dak. These guys, they read defenses very well, but if you move around, you got to make them change the defense. They're always ready to call an audible if the defense doesn't look like what fits the play. And I think that's just something that they did a very good job of. They took certain players away on certain plays and down and distance when they knew that he was going to try to get the ball to CeeDee Lamb. They made sure they had guys in the hole, and they tried to bend, don't break in the running game. Of course, Dallas still was able to get over 100 yards in rushing, but the mentality was, it's not Pollard that can beat us. It's Dak, and we got to make sure we confuse him. And at the end of the game, it showed to be the truth.
And I want to get back to the offense just real quick, Frank. Getting the one thing you bring about James Conner, as you allude to, is that the commitment to the running game. 182 yards in the first half, 222
3 minutes
on the day. I think that was one thing about Drew Petzing, staying committed to that running game, eating up. Even though they had the ball 25 minutes, they really helped them as far as play action passing was concerned. And I really felt helped Joshua Dobbs to be more comfortable with that offense.
I totally agree with you, man. Like, that's so you've heard them say this pretty much. I think I heard Joshua say this very well. The offensive line came to play. Like, they came to play. And so whatever that took, all that running around
2 minutes
that Dallas defensive line does or did, you getting punched in the mouth. You got a guy sitting in front of you and trying to punch you in the mouth. You got to be ready for that for 4 quarters. And our old line showed that. JC did an excellent job of running the ball, but I agree with you, Manuch, 100%. You got to be committed to the mindset that what you're trying to establish and how you're trying to be ball control. You're trying to make sure you're setting up plays. The running game was an absolute viable option to what we needed to happen in order to allow that crossing route at the end of the game where Hollywood Brown could catch it, because that's the kind of stuff you need to kind of offset the defense. Great job to the OC. Great job to the defense coordinator. And again, I don't know exactly what what Coach Ganning is saying that locker on those guys, but those guys show up and ready to play. And I like to see
1 minute.
I like
1 minute.
Thus far.
Frank, I'll let you go on this one quickly. How sweet was it, because the building was about 60-40 Cowboy fans, to see them have to leave State Farm Stadium with that loss?
Look, anytime you can beat Dallas is going to be great. I will make this notation, man. I was at the Future for Kids bowling event this weekend, and Dennis Kardec was there, and he happened to be bowling with us as a Cardinal player. Look, he said he's extremely happy with this team. This is not the same team we've had in the past. The mentality from the losses from the Giants, as well as the Commanders, the mentality was totally different. And for him to know, or him to say, that just lets me know, man, that this team was ready for for Dallas this week, man. And I shared with him. I said, I played at ASU. I've been in those environments where the stadiums will flip flop. You keep winning, you'll change the nature of the stadiums, man. More and more as the season goes on. And he agreed with me.
Awesome, dude. Awesome. Thank you, Frank. Great stuff as always. We'll talk to you next week.
Appreciate you guys, my man. Love you.
There you go. Frank Sanders, former Arizona wide receiver and Auburn star. He always has to make sure that we reference that.
You know, he has to love his former players to see all those Cowboy fans, as you referenced, Jim, to come in here.
Yeah.
It might have been 70-30.
Oh, easy.
But they came out of the woodwork yesterday, and just the crowd noise. And you're watching on TV.
Yeah.
You would have thought it was the Cowboys' home game.
Yeah.
Which
yeah.
it was. But, I mean, for Frank Sanders and a lot of the old guard of the Phoenix Cardinals, then Arizona Cardinals, love seeing the Cowboys come in and, quite frankly, get their butts whooped. I can't stand the Cowboys. My wife loves them, but that's about as far as it goes. So, I mean, it was always nice to see the Cowboys come in your backyard and get a big victory, get an upset victory over the Cowboys.
Uh-huh. In about 20 minutes from right now, it is indeed Monday Night Tailgate. It's going to take place right where we are located. Casino, Arizona. It's the 23rd year of giving away cold, hard cash on Monday Night Football. And here's the best part. It's a doubleheader night. You've got the Eagles and Bucks, and then immediately, about an hour later, the Rams and the Bengals. The doors are open right now here at Casino, Arizona at the CAZ Sports Bar and Sports Book. This joint is going to be jumping, so you better get here and get yourself a good seat. And as always, free cash. That's right. It's all free. You don't have to pay a cover charge, nothing like that. And you can win free cash. We'll see you with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910.
Rob Parker.
A lot of people refer to Cam Akers. He suffered the same injury.
He was 40
years old? There you go. I mean, not to mention, Rob, he came back. It was 5 months.
Yeah, he'll cue me for the Learner in Row, yeah?
July, and came back for the last game.
Yep, and then you see my pick, right?
Rodgers was hurt in September.
With Chris Broussard and Rob Parker. Today at 4, tell your smart speaker to play Fox Sports 910.
Valley traffic from the Valley Toyota Dealers Traffic Center.
I-10 westbound at University, accident off right, stop and go traffic from baseline. 10 westbound near 16th Street, there's a crash on the on-ramp off right. 10 westbound before 16th Street. HOV and left lanes are blocked by an accident.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Lowe's knows fall is the perfect time for outdoor projects. Right now, you can keep your yard looking its best and save. Take care of leaves with leaf blowers starting at just $89.98. Lowe's knows home improvement. While supplies last, see store for details.
Got the urge to pick games each week? Thursday, Sunday, even Mondays? Then sign up now for the Twin Peaks Fan Pick'em, courtesy of Blue Moon and Coors Light. It's totally free to play. Head to fanpick'em.com. That's fanpick'em.com.
You hear it all the time. Lawyers talk about all their experience, many years of experience with insurance companies, and experience in the courtroom. But what they're not talking about is their results. Maybe they don't have any. At Learner and Row, we're proud of our results because that's how we measure our success. We've helped over 150,000 people recover billions of dollars for their injuries, with over $1 billion just in the last 5 years alone. When you want results, call Learner and Row.
Learner and Row is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Tune in Mondays from 1 to 4 as Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B broadcasts live from the CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. The Sportsbook at the CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona is sports fans' paradise. That's the guys live every Monday from CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona.
It's Chevy truck season, and with a Chevy Silverado, there's no such thing as an uphill battle. With a Chevy Silverado, you can take on the mountains, or you can move them. Because with impressive towing capability, an available 13.4-inch diagonal touchscreen, and the choice of powerful engines to pick from, whatever your mountain, there's a Silverado with the capability you need. See your Valley Chevy dealers.
Looking for a change in your career? All City Towing is searching for motivated teammates to join their team. Current openings now available in customer service, tow truck operators, yard management, facilities maintenance, and dispatch. Apply online at allcitytowing.com/careers or call 480-833-7278.
Attention homeowners. Get Choice Home Warranty's award-winning service for 25 major systems and appliances.
Coming back in 1 minute with the football at 50.
5972 for a free quote. That's 1-844-674-5972. Limitations apply. Visit choicehomewarranty.com for details.
Gillette Intimate gives guys a gentle and easy shave on there. And around there, and even under there. Don't treat your groin like junk. Respect it with Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Let's get ready for football.
Back in
It's football at 50. The latest top football story trending this hour. Right here with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
You guys are hot.
Fox Sports 910 and the iHeart Radio app.
Welcome back, everybody. This is the place to be. Casino Arizona, CAZ Sportsbook Sports Bar as the doubleheader tonight, and we will be here giving away cold, hard cash. That's right. And if you were wondering about quarterback Joe Burrow for the Cincinnati Bengals, he is indeed in the lineup, and he is going to play tonight for Cincinnati. They host the LA Rams. The first game features the Eagles and the Bucks.
Yeah, they had an earlier workout with Burrow, and it sounds like he went through the paces as he should. And then as far as warming up, dropping back, rolling out, moving around. And I think they would probably curtail a lot of, him, encourage him not to run tonight, just to kind of protect that calf, if you will. But for all indications, for all intents and purposes, he is looking to go. That is the latest from Cincinnati. And I quite frankly feel, guys, in a must-win situation for them.
I'm with you.
You don't want to go 0-3.
I agree.
And there's, I think, the high percentage against anybody going to the Super Bowl when they start 0-3.
There you go. All right, let's get to our Lerner and Rowe one call.
It's the Lerner and Rowe one call, that's all. Call of the day. If you're looking for a full-service law firm, just make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. Lerner and Rowe, voted Arizona's best law firm.
He's got it again here out of the backfield and explodes up the middle. Rondale Moore, touchdown Arizona. They line the receiver up in the backfield and he gallops 45 yards for the Cardinal touchdown.
Thank you to Fox for that. Rondale Moore was indeed our Lerner and Rowe one call, that's all. In a wreck, need a check? Well, just make that call, 602-977-1900. Always at lernerandrowe.com, and you'll get a free consultation. Once again, Lerner and Rowe, one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. Now, let's get the what's on tap.
All right, Connor, pour me a cold one back there, if you will. And basically, we've been talking about it all night. I'll be out here at the CAZ Sports Bar and Sportsbook. We got the Rams at Bengals. Now, that game's going to go at 5:15. That'll be on ABC. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. ABC and ESPN Plus will be carrying that one as far as that is all concerned. So those are some of the, if not it. And I'm not quite sure. I don't know if the Diamondbacks game is going to be on the replay tonight. If it is, just check your view on Cox at Channel 4. So that's what's on tap. Brought to you by the Roc and Manuch Lager by Huss Brewing Company. Now available at the Tavern Grill in Scottsdale at 88th Street and East Linda.
3 minutes.
The Arena Sports Grill on Bell Road and 62nd Street. Upper Crust on Cave Creek and Cave Creek Road at the 101. Next to the Costco. You can't miss it. And in the CA Sports Bar right here in Casino, Arizona. By the way, fellas, the new Roc and Manuch Amber is coming to BKD's Backyard Joint at Pecos and McQueen in Chandler. Try it for yourself. That's the Roc and Manuch Lager. And coming, an Amber by Huss Brewing Company is all yet to come.
I like it. All right, let's get to our State 48 Roofing. It's your call question of the day.
You can still go to @Roc and Manuch on Twitter. What was the most impressive part of the Cardinals' win over the Cowboys? What was the most impressive part of the Cardinals' win over the Cowboys? As I mentioned, go to @Roc and Manuch on Twitter. Was it the running game? Was it Josh Dobbs' overall play? Was it the defensive stands or stops, if you will, or Prater's 62-yard field goal? Well, Jimmy, I leaned on the running game, and that was at 31.3%. Josh Dobbs overall play, leader in the clubhouse, 37.5%. And then in third, the defensive stands at 25%. The kicker gets a little love at 6.3%. So folks really encouraged by the play of Joshua Dobbs. Again, just go to @Roc and Manuch to vote for your State 48 Roofing It's Your Call question of the day.
All righty. And for a free quote, repair, or installation, once again, state48roofing.com. You can follow them on social media by searching #sexy roof status. Okay, Manuch, here we go. Start with the first game, and it's getting ready to kick here in about 15 minutes. It is Tampa Bay hosting the Philadelphia Eagles. Where are you?
I like the Eagles in this game. I know the spread's at 5.5 in favor of the Eagles. I think this is going to be a close game. I like a 28-25 game.
Okay,
with the Eagles winning this, but we'll see if Baker Mayfield in this Tampa Bay team is the real deal with the 2-0 start that they're off to.
Second game, Cincinnati hosting the Rams, and Joe Burrow will play at QB for Cincy.
A must-win for the Cincinnati Bengals to take on this Rams team. I've got the Bengals winning this game in a close one, 28-21.
All right, everybody. Coming up tomorrow, we're going to be at the Barrio Queen.